we did the boats episode. We did the Coast Guard episode of the going out and getting the two separate oil Liberty, non-Liberty or Liberty ships.
The Fort Mercer and Pendleton.
Exactly. We recorded that episode, and it's weird because I was listening to it like, oh, surely we've done one of these before, and I realized, no, I've just listened to the episodes that you've been in before, and have developed such a parasocial relationship with a podcast with whose hosts I am friends with, and I'm now a co-host of, that it's all very confusing. I don't know where my brain's at with it, but we did that, and it was very fun. People should go and watch it if they want to understand about water-based disasters. Then those are fun episodes to go and listen to. Go and find those Tom episodes. So with all that waffling, I've also been on 10K losses. I have been on it, which is weird for a guy who knows nothing about any sports. I actually had a lot of fun recording that episode with you. It's good fun.
Yeah, I think we had to sequester you because you like of feedback from microphones, and you happened to be here during the Philadelphia Phillies World Series run.
I was. Good luck, charm. And I was in the middle of flipping. I was in like center city, cheering and climbing on things with the best of them. You know.
You were climbing the grease poles, and not people from Poland.
No, physical
Poles
infrastructure,
in
not
Broad
Polish
Street.
people.
Yeah.
I did know there was a Polish person, but he and I were running up and down stairs of a skyscraper and keeping ourselves entertained that way instead. So not slightly different. Yeah. That was a lot of fun. I enjoyed Philly. I went to the US, and the first city I went to was Philly, which occasionally confuses people when I tell them that here. But I actually have zero regrets. I had a tremendous time. The second city I went to was Harrisburg. This will become relevant in this recording. Oh. The third city I went to was Baltimore, which won't be relevant in this podcast recording at all.
Where you had a delicious meal at the Cheesecake Factory. Traditional Baltimore. Are you trying to go to Cheesecake Factory?
Here we go. So for anyone who doesn't know Tom, what we have here is a man who can give us that little bit of Americana. You know, you can give us the lowdown on niche nonsense in that enormous country that ought not to be a country, that ought to be lots of different countries, which I suppose kind of is, which is the United States of America. It's over there. There's some water between us and them, but that's fine. Tom, I'm excited. It's episode 244 of Rail Matter, and it's going out on the 25th of December, which, according to all good Google searches, is Christmas Day. So everyone watching this live-ish going out on Christmas Day, cheers. I'm drinking. In fact, I'm going to briefly go big face. I'm drinking.
Oh, there you go.
I haven't got my proper lighting arrangement on because I've just recorded an episode of Practice Cast because it's actually the middle of December. I'm drinking some sherry here. That's what I'm drinking. Tom, what are you drinking? What have you got?
Well, I'm drinking something that you helped enable me to purchase. So last Christmas, I spent it in Edinburgh because I went to Scotland, and you helped me design a whole travel itinerary that got destroyed by a storm.
It did,
so
yes.
I didn't get to go to Oban. I had to spend an extra night in Edinburgh, which was very, very, very upsetting. But I did make it to Glasgow, and then from Glasgow we got to go to was it Glengoyne Distillery? So I am drinking Glengoyne 21,
which is not a bad whiskey. Actually, it is not a bad whiskey.
Phenomenal whiskey, and it was the only thing that was bad about it was the price. It's not cheap.
No. So I'm currently the whiskey I'm currently on the hunt for is a whiskey called Longmorn, not because it has a train on it, but actually entirely because it has a train on it. It's a Speyside, so it's tame. But the thing about Speysides is that if you get a signature, 10, 20 year signature malt, it's very nice, I'm sure, but it's fairly soft stuff, right? It's pleasant. I love a Speyside, absolutely love it. Mm-hmm. But but nice. Ardbeg is one of my favorite whiskies, and it's very smoky. However, with Speysides, the trick is to spend stupid money on very old, very lost old casks of the whiskey because they are utterly sublime. So when I get my
information redacted,
I'm going to treat myself to a because it's been a fucking stupid year. I'm going to treat myself to a reasonably expensive, in the order of £200 to £300 bottle of whiskey, and also a Lego Concorde. Those are the two things on my treat myself list.
I almost bought the Lego Concorde. In Edinburgh.
Oh, really?
I was like, how am I going to get this?
You can't. You can't FedEx it back over. I don't know.
I have to take it out of the box and just why do you have a box full of Legos? Well, I would have to take it on the train too. So the train from Edinburgh to Glasgow, and who knows? I could have gotten jumped by Ned's fearsome.
It's so. I said this when we recorded W2IP. You saying the word Ned when I've not heard the word Ned used since I lived in Inverurie is baffling to me. That's because everyone says chavs everywhere else in the UK, but as I grew up and everyone's fucking Neds, man. So like everyone's fucking man. Oh no, I got the beep in the wrong place there. It's fine. It's Christmas Day and everyone's expecting swearing.
Yes.
Everyone's having a lovely time. It's 8 p.m. on a Christmas day, which means everyone is smashed. They're knackered from watching telly and eating too much food. They've had fallouts with their family members, or they haven't, and they're just tired and bored. Or if you're on your own and you've had a Christmas on your own, you're a hero, and I hope you're having a really genuinely nice time, because if you're on your own for Christmas, it can be a bit lonely. And this sort of show where you have your parasocial relationships with people like weirdos like me might help get you through. So I hope you've had a nice Christmas if you're on your own. If you're with your family and you're not on your own, sucks to be you. Christmas, whatever. I'm sure you've all had fun. So, Tom, we should probably get on with it, because we could literally do a 2-hour podcast on this page and we'd have fun and that'd be fine. But actually, we're here for a purpose.
Just talking about holidays, about whiskey.
Oh, yeah.
My wife's sneaking in behind me.
Oh, hello. Hello, Tom's wife.
Gareth says hello. You guys say Happy Christmas, and we say Merry Christmas, which feels like it should be inverted. Just based
possibly.
on dialect.
Of course, I say Yuletide greetings as a vigorous pagan secularist. No, I don't care. I say Happy Christmas too, because Christmas, whatever. It's a word that we all say for this time of year. Happy Christmas, Merry Christmas. I think you get a mixture of the two. I think it depends. Actually, we often get Merry Christmas. If you're saying Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, people will often say Merry Christmas, so they don't say Happy twice, because you sound like a dweeb if you say Happy Christmas, Happy New Year. So it kind of depends on whether you're looping Happy New Year in, which is funny, because this year the way the holidays have fallen is the next episode of Rail Now, which I'll be telling everyone about at the end of the episode, falls on New Year's Day. I didn't realize this happens, but yeah, if a week between the two, and therefore it's two very extremely seasonal Rail Now episodes. Anyway, enough of that. More of this. We're going to talk about whiskey again, probably quite a lot through this episode as we drink more of it. I should have brought my whiskey up, actually, because I'm going to finish this sherry before the end of the episode, which is extremely dangerous. Right, episode 244. Tom and I are doing a thing that I thought of. I can't even remember why I thought of it, but there was like a news article that spurred me into think about another episode, which I will do at some point. But I thought of it. It made me think of a silly episode, and for a silly episode, I needed Tom. And Tom, you heeded the call. You're here like Batman responding to the flashlight into the sky. You've arrived to help us on this odyssey of weird commuter and regional flights that should be trains in the US. And I don't intend this to be the last of these episodes. I want us to find more of these, because although you said you're struggling to find these 10, I reckon that once you unlock the powers, we're going to give you some superpowers here, because you're going to start finding more weird commuter flight, like regional flights. I want the little prop stuff that goes from shithole of nowhere to shithole of nowhere else.
Some weird shit from an island in the Alaskan panhandle up to Anchorage, and it's literally just Costco boxes. Because that is apparently a thing.
Well, the Alaskan ones. Well, we'll talk about scoring in a moment once we've cracked into the episode. But, all right, okay. Why am I doing this episode? I'm going to launch into the next slide. Why am I doing this episode? Because I watch a lot of air crash investigation, and the thing about air crash investigation is, number one, I probably should have content warning this for people who are scared of CGI generated images of mildly smashed up prop aircraft. But I guessed it was sufficiently low res that no one would care. Anyway, so here's some smashed up planes, because I watch a lot of aircraft investigation, and other than irritating things being done in sort of social murder by the aviation industry, one of the things that aggravates me is the amount of social murder done by flights that simply shouldn't exist and should be trains. And a lot of them are these weird little flights in the US. And actually, we're not going to be covering... The list that we've got now doesn't cover these sorts of flights. So we're going to tap into these more in our episodes 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 in the series. But there are... Because we're actually going to talk about major commuter flights that should be trains. But there are loads of these little weird flights that exist around the US that also wind me up because they should be trains. It's like half an hour from bumfuck nowhere to somewhere else. And they invariably come a cropper. And this could be solved by simply having a train, but also you'd need a different rail industry, because if it was the train that we have now, then the freight industry would result in you... Anyway, that's another episode. But, I wanted to talk about planes. So it's a planes episode, but we're going to talk about all the planes that shouldn't be planes and there should be trains. So that is the episode today.
And I just love that you have a boat guy on a train podcast to talk about planes.
Yes.
With my sole bona fide being that I really like Microsoft Flight Simulator.
And you know what? This is RailNatter, and those are qualifications enough. No, so here's a fun thing, right? You might remember. So search and rescue is probably a thing that you're like mildly. International big search and rescue stories are probably a thing that interests you, right? I'd imagine they're a thing that find their way into your radar.
I'm known to affiliate with searches and rescues from time to time.
Yeah, sure, right? And one of the things that's quite interesting is that my dad is the chair of the British Cave Rescue Council, and he's been chair, in fact, a month after he took that post a few years back, was probably one of the most prominent cave rescues in world history up to today, which was the rescue of the Thai football team, those Thai kids. Dad coordinated that rescue through being the chair of the British Cave Rescue Council. So shout out to EcoPete on Twitter. He's never on there anymore. My dad, who's in Aberystwyth and now an ex-academic for various university collapse reasons. But he was coordinating that, and so yeah, he's been doing cave rescue for years and years. So I kind of got my connection and knowledge of search and rescue through his lens. And so he does a lot of training of like falling out of Sea Kings and stuff in kind of joint training with Mountain Rescue, because Mountain Rescue is a much more established thing in the UK. Cave rescue is never going to be able to fully professionalize just because there aren't enough people or events. But it's one of those situations.
There's too many people rightly refuse to go into caves.
Well, yes. See also WTYP, Devon's episode of WTYP, they very neatly explain why you should never go in the hole unless you're a psychopath. I'm one of the psychopaths who enjoys going in the hole, but that's another story. But people don't go in caves often, but when they do and it goes wrong, it does require quite a substantial effort. And it's quite interesting. The logistics of it, the training and all that, it's all very interesting. What's even more interesting is the phones they use to like communicate through rock, which is also very interesting. Particularly when like Elon Musk gets involved and starts talking about how clever his innovations are, and then he then gets upset because a kind of a dour British guy says his idea is shit, and no one ever tells him anything's shit to his face except this cave diver, and then he obviously called him a pedo and ruined his life. So fuck you, Elon Musk, for that reason among many others. Shout out to Vern Unsworth, who is a great guy and an extremely capable cave diver
let's get Elon on one of these short flights.
Yes, one of these ones on screen would be terrific.
And
he can enjoy. Yeah. So anyway, right. Let's talk about planes, everyone. Welcome to tonight's RailNatter.
Look at That's so quaint. I love it.
This is the stuff. RailNatter is beautiful. This is, also we have because it's a Christmas episode, we have the snow and the jingle bells.
Yes.
It's very seasonal. It's very beautiful. That's right.
I could smell the mince pie.
You could smell the mince pies. Look at this. It's beautiful. Yes, it is. We're going to, before we talk about London to Edinburgh flights, because we need to understand what we're competing with here. First of all, I'm going to get up our two small faces. So as you can see, there's Tom Paine in the corner being represented here by a bird of some kind. Go Birds.
Yeah, go
I need
birds.
the Go Birds drop, actually. It's Go Birds.
The Go Birds kid? Yeah. I can find that for you. There you go.
There we go. Go Birds. Anyway, right.
Go Birds.
So for people puzzled, Tom is here represented here by an eagle for US sports-based reasons. Mm-hmm. Tom is an anonymous monkey, and we don't know anything about Tom other than everything we already know about Tom, which is fairly extensive, actually, thanks to his various extensive podcast appearances and hosting. So you can find Tom that way. But Tom is here representing the US and representing all of Americana and the knowledge of that diverse and wonderful nation and its various flights.
Being from the birthplace of America, and just for any listeners who don't know what a Philadelphia accent is, this is a Philadelphia accent.
Yeah, Tom, can you say water? Can you say water for me, please?
Water.
There we go. What?
Can you say proper? Water.
Water. I was going to say it needs to be in a sentence for you not to say, like you have to say it properly within the context of a sentence. You have the reason Philadelphians say water in a funny way is because they have one of the very early and very extensive municipal water treatment systems. So there we go.
Yeah, you can drink the water. Is pretty good.
It is pretty good. And I went and I spent an entire day. Well, actually, I had a lovely day walking from Center City all the way out to the waterworks and having a wander around and exploring. It was very nice. Philadelphia, fascinating, genuinely fascinating city. Really nice place to go and visit as the first trip to the US. Actually, I had a tremendous time. London to Edinburgh. So
yeah. That's a plane.
We're talking about flight. Here's a plane. It's got those funny little winglets that planes have. It's got the tiny little engines. Because this looks to me like, what is it? I think this might be like one of the like, it's a Bombardier but not a Bombardier. It's the one that was Bombardier but then Airbus bought it up and they call it
the A220.
It looks like that. Whether all the nerds will
may be.
All the aircraft nerds will tell me no, it isn't that. But it's like the engines are too small for it to be a kind of a more standard sort of 737 competitor type. So anyway, there. Airplane, British Airways. This also goes out in audio only format. So apologies to all those people who have no idea what's going on.
Imagine an A220.
Imagine that. Picture in your mind. And so, right, we are talking. We have a science-based system for measuring the stupidity of a flight, and this is going to be the basis for not this episode, but also many spin-off episodes, because I love this format for this kind of episode where two people get increasingly drunk and talk about silly things in trains. So for scale, I wanted to start with the classic candidate of a flight distance a series of flights that shouldn't exist. So London to Edinburgh, the distance is 644 kilometers. The flight, I'm afraid we're doing this in kilometers, Tom. I'm so sorry. I'm sure you can easily and quickly convert. This is exactly 400 miles
or something like that.
Yeah, literally 400 miles. Flight time is an hour 25 minutes, which is interesting actually, because it's like the longest flight time of any of the flights I think on our list, to be honest. But flight time is an hour 25. Now, what we have here is the actual train time is quite a lot longer, 4 hours 25 minutes. So it's a much longer train time. But the potential train time, if we had full high-speed rail, is more like 2.5 hours. So this would be part of a feature of our hunt. Now, what you get out of this is a stupidity score. Now, I'm going to talk about the stupidity score. So London to Edinburgh gets a stupidity score. The flights get a stupidity score of 6.1. Now, you might be wondering, everyone, how did I come to this number? Tom, you might also be wondering this because I've not told you yet. Here's a spreadsheet.
I don't know the formula.
No, and the formula is actually not hugely important. But basically, what I've done is taken, and spoiler alert for all the answers, which I should have not shown everyone, but the answers on the screen. In fact, I'm going to blur these. I'm going to tactically blur these out when I actually do the episode. But on this spreadsheet are a bunch of messages. If I hide everything except London to Edinburgh, I'm going to do this now. Hide, and then I can unblur it. There we go. London to Edinburgh. So London to Edinburgh, fine. Distance. So the distance in kilometers. We have a flight time. We have an actual train time and a potential train time. Now, the formula is essentially the relationship between the train time and the flight time as a ratio, whether the journey is under 3 hours, because this is a known measure of whether you get good modal shift, whether there is a rail service that exists today, whether there's some rail infrastructure that exists today, and a score of the Airlink justification out of 5. So, like, if it's an island in the middle of the Pacific, it's going to have an Airlink justification of 5. If it's 100 miles away on flat terrain, it's going to get Airlink justification of 0. Or in this case, 200 miles away on reasonably flat terrain, Airlink justification of 0. And that gives me my score by a reasonably contrived formula that combines all of those things. So that is how we're scoring all of this, everyone. So there is science behind this, you'll be pleased to know. At some point, maybe I'll put carbon numbers against this by the passengers that travel by air today and could travel by rail tomorrow.
I was thinking about this. I was thinking about how much fuel per hour.
Yeah, we could have been clever, but
the planes burn.
We could have been clever, but not this time. No, because we're going to get cracking, because the first on our list is Tom, you very kindly provided us a list of 10 interesting and what you believe to be very stupid flights. And I look forward to people submitting suggestions that they reckon they can beat it, which I look forward to. And then maybe rather than you having to do the research, the viewers will send us suggestions and then we can review them. But the first on our list...
Less work.
Less work is good, right? Denver to Colorado Springs. These are, by the way, in no particular order. So the first on our list is Denver to Colorado Springs. So firstly... where is this and what is this journey and why would you fly it? The distance, by the way, is 114 kilometers and the flight time is 50 minutes. So kind of it's still a fairly decent flight, relatively speaking. but 114 kilometers is not very far. That's what it is. That's like 70 miles or something.
70 miles.
Yeah, exactly. So not hugely far. So here's a plane showing a plane doing this journey. But Denver and Colorado Springs. One of the other things we're going to do is bring up the map that shows us the railways in the. This is Open Railway map. So we're going to go to Denver. Which is now I'm going to.
Can Gareth find Denver?
Can I find it? So Denver is Colorado. So it's the middle of the country, which is here. Here's Denver. Here is the classic U.S. city of basically a square with a load of smaller squares in it.
Yes. Anything west of the Mississippi, where the towns were platted out like in this orderly system, where compared to the system that they used out east, which was go 20 chains from the Widow Johnson's farm.
British style. Like kind of half British style. It was still new, but like still like had some level of like geographical pertinence. Whereas this is like, here is flat area with some hills, and we're going to basically eat the flat area with grid.
Abutting the Rocky Mountains.
Over here. Here they are. In fact, you can see. There. Yeah, there they are, because there's nothing in them. There we are. Yep. Nada.
They're quite rocky.
Except a very satisfying thing called Devil's Gate Station that I don't know anything about. But for now, so here we are. So
maybe it's haunted.
Well, indeed. So here's Denver. Now, if we go south of Denver, some distance. Here we go. Keep going. Castle Rock, Palmer Lake.
Air Force Academy. Air Force Academy. There we are.
There we are. And here's Colorado Springs. There we are. There's Bijou, North Colorado Springs, Manitou Depot. There we are. Colorado Springs. There it is. And so you see, this is a distance.
So there is a railroad.
So there is a railroad. But by George, you cannot use it to take a passenger train,
no.
Which we'll talk about in a second. So there's that journey. There is an airport between the two. So the airport in Colorado Springs down here, City of Colorado Springs Municipal Airport. And then if we
next to the Space Force base.
Next to this.
That's
really? Oh, shit. Yeah, there is Peterson Space Force Base, famous for the guy off The Office. I mean, no, he's just more than that. He's in all sorts of things. Being in it, that Netflix series, presumably not filmed in location. Peterson Space Force Base. That's dumb as shit. Like, there's no space for this. Just stupid.
That's where the Enterprise is kept.
Exactly. That's where the Enterprise. What's also noticeable is how much former rail there is. This is all former railway here.
I mean, there used to be rail everywhere. I mean, it's been.
Oh my god! What's also stupid? I mean, obviously it's stupid because it's paralleling an existing railway, but also the alignment of that one is better. Oh, anyway, God, just don't think about it too much. It makes you sad. So if we trace over this Castle Rock, and then we're working our way up through, and we're finding a way, and it's look, Denver's big enough to have a Union Station. It just doesn't go anywhere apparently. So there's Union Station in the middle of Denver with, to be fair, shit ton of railway going on. But the trouble is, all that railroad is mostly for. Well, it looks like there is a bit of a commuter system in Denver.
There might be. I'm not too. See, the Midwest is where, like, well, this is not the Midwest, but the central part of the country is where I'm weakest. But I mean, they might have an Amtrak service, like one of those old legacy, cross country services, like Empire Builder or something, or Southwest Chief. I'm not sure if they stop in Denver or not. I've never. I know that you probably have listeners who are very like, well, actually, it. And getting upset with me.
Oh, they will be. And they'll be getting upset and angry with me. And in some, quite a few listeners will be like, what the fuck is going on in this episode? And, to those people, I love you and please come back. Here's a train.
Is this a branch line?
No, this is just a little, little pioneer train in the middle of the zoo. This Denver Zoo. Looks like
I like how it's on the train map.
Oh yeah, it's on the train map. Do not underestimate the power of the open railway map nerds. They're almighty. They are almighty. Look at all this railway shit going on in the middle of Denver. Anyway, all this railway shit going on in Denver notwithstanding, the problem is there isn't a connection to the next major city along, which is Colorado Springs, which is there, but you can fly between them.
Which I think it's faster to drive.
I think it might be. So I'm now going to have to navigate my way to these places in the kind of barren reality of
there you go. You're staying on the right side of the Rockies.
I am on the right side of the Rockies. There is. Let's go with north. No, north.
That looks like Colorado.
This looks like Colorado because there's the park. Is that the park?
Oh, is that?
No,
Denver?
That's not the park. This is Denver. No, is this? I think this is Denver, actually. Yeah, I think this is Denver.
It does look like that.
Because there's the reserve here, which I believe there was on the Open Railway map. There is a reserve in Denver. There we go. Yeah, Rocky Mountain Arsenal National Wildlife Refuge, which is also represented in my Google Earth if I found the right tab. So there's Denver.
There you go.
And down here is then Colorado Springs, I presume. So let's just quickly have a look at the geography between these two. Oh, it's kind of a flat, open valley, almost a straight line between them. Mm-hmm. Okay, so that begs the question. How stupid is this flight? So the actual train time to get between these, you can get a train. Do you know how long the train takes? 23 hours and 41 minutes. I'm going to show you what that looks like in practicality because it's so silly. Look at this, right? Denver to Colorado Springs. Let's just do this and do this. There we are. And there we go. So let's just for clarity, you can do this by train, and it will take you 1 day because you have to go all the way out to Salida, and then you get Salida. Then you get to Salida to Pueblo. And then from Pueblo, you go up through Fort Carson up to Colorado Springs, and that takes you a day. There was a direct train between these two places. Why is that the journey you have to do?
This is the sort of train journey that you still run risk of bandits. You still run into fucking the fucking Vanderlint gang.
Yes.
Yeah. We got a couple people coming on up the old CC or CDOT Outrider. All right, send the boys.
Just incredible. You know what's funny is I think what's also painful is I think these are like, I have a horrible suspicion these aren't even trains. These are buses.
Oh.
So I don't even, Mustang Outrider.
The Salida Chaffee Shuttle. Yeah.
Oof. Like.
Of course they would name it the Colorado Department of Transportation would be like, yeah, we're going to call our buses the Outrider.
The Outrider. Yeah, that's it. So
send some Outriders to run ahead of the gang. Make sure we don't get caught by any Pinkertons.
So that is a hell of a journey.
Maybe that's why they fly. So there's too many outlaw gangs.
Too many outlaw gangs out there, like firing off
highwaymen.
Their pistoles and picking up. Now the potential train time between these two locations at a reasonable average speed, kind of a comparable average speed for a train between the sorts of locations in Europe, 43 minutes. So you can have a train that's quicker than the flight time. And
what's the drive time? Can you pull up the drive time?
I can pull up the drive time. I have the technology to do this. I have so many tabs open. Christ.
Car bad, but
let's have a look. It's an hour 20. So you can drive this in an hour 20 straight down. What is that? Route 25. Oh no, it's I-25. Yeah, so that's an interstate. So that's I-25. Straight down I-25, hour 21. 71 miles.
With traffic right now.
With a bit of because it's like normal time. It's like evening rush right at the moment. So
let's see, it's 3 p.m. there right now. It's recording. It's 5:20 p.m.
Bit early. Yeah, so it's a little bit earlier than the rush. But anyway, it's hour 21. So what's the stupidity score of this? Well, it's 7.6. So if we remember that London to Edinburgh is our kind of baseline here was 6.1. So Denver to Colorado Springs is straight in with a 7.6. This is a pretty stupid flight. Like this should be a train.
Absolutely.
So so we're off to a kicking great start. Other than that, like I was quite intrigued by Denver. Denver looked kind of interesting. It looked like a lot of infrastructure. It's probably the sort of place where I find places interesting, frankly. Even places that people might perceive as being nowhere or a dump, I find really interesting. I bet if I flew into Denver and wandered around, I would have I'd find it absolutely fascinating. Shout out to Denver.
I've heard Denver's a cool city. Denver is actually chill. So
and Colorado Springs.
It's a decent place.
Yeah, and Colorado Springs, or certainly the area around Colorado Springs, is absolutely beautiful, right? It's like stunning scenery.
But it's full of like Christian nationalist types. It's really and that's like you want to get like here's some folksy Americana here is the Air Force Academy for some reason is located there, and it's just full like there's like a problem in the United States Air Force with extreme religious views due to its location there and its influence on the people who attend the academy. Although I've heard again, it's absolutely beautiful. I mean, it's got mountains, it's got plains, like both geographical and vehicular. It's be nice.
Yeah, absolutely. So there we go. So there should be. So here it's 7.6 on the stupidity scale. Get rid of the flight, replace with a train, but that would involve at least they have train infrastructure, right? There is railway there. We saw it on Open Railway Map, just no service, which is bonkers to me. It's the sort of place I'd fly to Denver. I'd get an imaginary train down to Colorado Springs, and then I'd wander around in the same way that I wandered. In fact, on the same day that I wandered from Center City out to the Museum of Art and the kind of the waterworks, I then walked all the way up to. I walked up, crossed the bridge across the Girard Avenue Bridge, walked along Girard Avenue and into West Philly. And then everyone, including yourself, I believe, said, why did you do that? I walked through West Philly all the way through West Philly to, and I'm not going to dox Roz here because he said this broadly on the podcast, out over to where Roz lives in kind of around that area, like in that broadside of, well, it's not West Philly. He kind of lives in that vicinity. He has said this.
It's West Philadelphia. I mean, you walk through a very deprived area of Philadelphia.
I did. And I just
as a non-Philadelphian.
I did as a non-Philadelphian.
Was your benefit.
I was a non-Philadelphian. I was grinning at everyone in a sort of a like, and everyone was looking at me like I was a fucking weirdo, and that was probably my safety shield at that point. But also, it was just fascinating. Also, just like a lot of people have clearly just been fucked over by the federal government and the city government, frankly, at that point as well. Also, a lot of empty lots where row houses once were. A fascinating walk. Also, just really bleak of like a properly abandoned part of the country. It's quite something.
Yeah.
Philadelphia,
they call that neighborhood like Mantua, not the Roz.
Yeah, so I walked through. No, so I walked through East. Yeah, so I walked through East Parkside and then down into Mantua and actually no, I walked through kind of Haverford actually for a bit and a bit of Mill Creek and then down across into into Mantua. It was a really interesting walk, like fascinating, like architecturally interesting, and like all the row houses around there, and just like Philadelphia. Okay, we've gone on a segue, and we're going to talk about Philadelphia a bit later, but like Philadelphia's a very certainly until fairly like reasonably recently a pretty well integrated city, right? Like actually quite successful integration wise. But it seems less so again in recent years, and it seems like
I will say Philadelphia's where redlining was sort of invented.
Well, yeah, true.
So workplace integration, but maybe not so much. So it's better than it used to be, but there's still some stark lines in terms of where different ethnic groups live. But hey, it's we're living with the legacy of decisions made well before our time, right?
Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, it's interesting to see how those manifest. It's a very interesting sort of. It's a very interesting walk. I mean, people looked at me like I was mental having walked that far, but actually, Philadelphia is a very walkable city. I mean, okay, the infrastructure tries to stop you quite a few times, but actually, like distances wise, I was kind of walking around. It felt like walking around a kind of British city, and like you walk a few miles, and you end up in a few different. Anyway, fascinating. I'll shut up. But walking on the Schuylkill and like enjoying the various sort of bad planning decisions and quite nice bridges was a very pleasant experience. So, where else are we going to go on our US tour? Because we have to talk about. That's right, it's Detroit to Lansing. So
there we go.
This is a picture of Lansing, I believe. Detroit, I wasn't going to put a picture up because Detroit, the picture I always come to is that picture of just the city, like the city center having been completely flattened for car parking, and it makes me cry every time I see it. In fact, I cite Detroit in the book as like an example of the worst in urban redevelopment, like the worst in kind of urban planning of like with a US flavor, because they didn't just like do a Cincinnati and like smash everything with roads. They also then smashed all the blocks to build parking to drive to. Question mark?
Yes. So yeah. So all the all the people who fled the city because they white flight. Yeah. So they could park their car and come in to watch sports games.
That is pretty much it. Yeah. Okay. Ouch. Yeah. Whereas this picture of Lansing looks a little nicer. A little bit of density. A nice river, some greenery. Looks quite pleasant there. Yeah. Quite nice. Very green actually. Lots of trees. I don't know anything about Lansing. I know a bit about Detroit. Mostly when I was younger, all I knew about Detroit was RoboCop, and then later than that, I learned more through learning stuff. But I don't know anything about Lansing. This picture makes it look quite nice, but I don't know anything about it.
It's the capital of Michigan.
So it has to be okay. I presume that the Boob building in the middle there. Actually, it's a very nice clock, an industrial kind of clock there. But to the wait a minute, where's my John Madden?
The Pointy Boob building, I think, is their capital.
Yeah, I was going to say that's what I was going to say. Is that the state capital there? If Pointy Boob building invariably means state capital,
yeah,
that's nice. Is. Very nice. There's a few row housey type properties. You know what? Again, this is so part of the reason I wanted to do this episode, because a lot of people have particularly in the UK, have a lot of broad brush views of the US. And this was a fun episode to like say, no, there's loads of really interesting, like, okay, everything's newer. So the history is all very compressed because, it's a bunch of our weirdos and then a bunch of other European weirdos who went out there and then shot all the locals. But then what's kind of left is kind of quite some genuinely interesting kind of quite compressed architectural and social history. And this little street here, that I'm John Maddening down here with my horrible red, sorry for anyone who's monochromatic thing, I'm circling it a lot. Looks quite intriguing, actually. Kind of a historic street here. I'm genuinely fascinated by Lansing. Another place that we could go that'd be really interesting. Also, another thing about the US that I find fun is that the capitals are all like secondary cities that you've never heard of. So, like, Pennsylvania, Harrisburg, state capital, right? And
Harrisburg's capital. Yeah, they're all in like the middle of the state because back when people had to like physically
like go to that place. Yeah.
Well, I would imagine in the UK like your traditional counties, like your ceremonial counties or whatever, like you had like the market town in the center.
Absolutely. Well, we did. I just recorded W2 up here about Morpeth, and Morpeth was like a major center at the time, whereas it's kind of nothing now. People know it. Like the most famous thing about Morpeth is the curve in which all the trains derail. So like before, it was the major center for exactly the reason you described it. It was the market town. It was a major market town. Ironically, for fighting for the railway, it actually lost that status because everyone just left on the train. But that's I imagine it's a similar thing, right? The state capital. And actually, we could learn a bit about. We talk about walkable cities, but actually having states that are built a bit hub and spoke in a way that minimizes transport time. If we're building a society that isn't all around flights, then maybe it's not such a bad idea to have an administrative center that's accessible from all sorts of places. So maybe the state capitals aren't such a crazy thing to have in these slightly smaller cities. But anyway, Lansing. Let's talk about the flight from Detroit to Lansing on this subject, though, because the distance is 119 kilometers, which is, what is that, like 73 miles or something like that?
Yeah, something.
Yeah. Flight time is 50 minutes, so it's a very similar story. You've done a good job of picking quite a lot of quite similar flights there. I'm guessing for all these, they're quite intensively used, actually. And so the actual train time is there's no train. There's no train from
no
Detroit
direct
to Lansing.
train. I did figure out a way to get there though.
Oh God! So I don't think Google has this. Let's try it though. So here we go. Detroit.
So you would have to take the Wolverine, which is the
that is a very cool name for a train.
Animal. Yeah. Westbound to where did I look up? I had the map, the Michigan Services map.
For anyone who geographically wants to know where this is, by the way, it's down here, folks. This is where we are.
So you would take the Wolverine westbound from Detroit to Battle Creek.
Okay.
Which is where all the isn't Battle Creek where the mills are, I believe. Battle Creek.
Creek.
Yeah. That's where like Kellogg was.
Interesting. Okay.
So then you would have to catch the Blue Water one stop eastbound to East Lansing.
So we're going to Battle Creek, which is over here. There's Battle Creek with, yes, that's some industry and much railway here. Yes, very nice. And then you're saying you go from Battle Creek to
East Lansing.
East Lansing. Oh yeah, okay, here we go. Yep. East Lansing, there's a Marriott, worth noting. Yep, good, noted, good.
Is that? Then I think it's Michigan State, so that's why you see a very walkable neighborhood with lots of paths. It's Michigan State University.
Oh yeah, there is. Oh yeah, very nice. Look at that. Oh, that's nice, isn't it?
It's like they mapped every single possible desire path.
Yeah, that's a little bit crazy. Fine, okay, I can buy into that, I suppose. And then you get the. I suppose then you get the bus into the center if there's no train, and then you arrive yourself into the. And there's the state capitol. There's Michigan State Capitol looking very nice. There's the Boo building. Very pleasant. Lovely. So that's how you get to Lansing by rail, but Google doesn't have that in it because Google is useless for railways in the US. So Google just has a bunch of buses. And to be fair, the bus journey you can do takes you 4 hours. Yeesh.
Ooh.
Yeesh. Yeah, which is ineffective. That's an ineffective journey.
I think the plane is a Canadair Regional Jet, CRJ.
For the plane heads, that's how you're getting there. But if there was a train, what would be a likely journey time between these two places? Well, you could do it in 45 minutes. I've not just chosen these speeds to make sure that it's under the flight time. It is genuinely, these are not that far apart. These locations are not, that's 80 miles is not that you could do a fast train between these two places. Like this is a state capital. It merits having a fast connection to the massive city of Detroit.
60. I want to say
6.2. Yeah, that's the stupidity score. Oh yeah, go on. Airport wise,
we have one other fact against this.
Oh yeah, go on.
The airport code for Lansing Airport, the ICAO code is KLAN.
Oh dear.
Yeah,
that's the Capital Region International Airport. The regional code is KLAN. We do not like that. No, thank you. So this airport here. What needs to be done is it needs to be converted into a mixed-use residential and light industrial and commercial eco city, and just fuck all this stupid infrastructure. Don't need any of this. Flatten it, get rid of it. Don't need any of this. All this concrete.
I mean, maybe we could keep it just so that I could fly planes.
yeah, okay. Yeah, so that you can fly your Flight Simulator X aircraft in and out of it. Yeah, I suppose if you get rid of all these stupid regional airports, like Flight Simulator X gets less interesting.
Because one of the things is like they have mods to add back all like the old radio navigation sources, because they're like it's GPS is way more it's easier.
It's less fun.
But it's so much less fun to do in Flight Simulator, because I'll trying to navigate cross country at night with just radio signals is actually really fun. In a simulator, not in real life. I imagine it's quite horrifying.
So I've got a little box here on my desk that you can't see, of course. A little box here, and it's got like a little old-timey sort of filament bulb in it. And what this little box has in Dymo print on the front is neurodivergence moment. And so it's just illuminated there as you said that. So thanks, Tom. Detroit here has what I like about Detroit is that it's a weird situation where you are north. You're in the US, but you're north of the Canadian border and not in Alaska. Because you've got Windsor south of the river, of course. So you've got the Detroit River, and you've got Windsor south there, which is in Canada. So there's Windsor, which is in Canada, and decidedly not in the US, but also south of it's a fun little location. Also, Detroit. I was talking about the gore of what happens when you demolish the whole city for car parking. I wasn't joking. This is today in Detroit. Look at this. Look at this shit.
It was all buildings with a kind of cool street layout that had it has like a half dome looking thing.
Yeah, it could, it's a city that if they start digging up those car parks, it could work. But unfortunately, you've got all this shit here that you need to get rid of. Like, it's just horrible. It's bad. Like, ugh. Look at this.
Yeah. If you look at the architecture of Detroit, it's quite beautiful as well.
Really, what's left is
I won't stand Detroit. There are cities in this country I fucking hate, like Miami. I won't. Okay. I won't stand.
Ooh, I will not immediately stand, I've spotted a building Detroit I like. Slant. That I like. That's very nice. And
Detroit
those
has
are very nice. Ooh, look at some proper skyscrapers. Look, hello.
See, I mean, it really was one of the most economically important cities in the United States for a while.
Yeah. Oh my God. Look. Hello. Look at this. Woo. Oof. That is the Guardian building, and it is absolutely stunning. Look at that.
Yeah. There's some beautiful Art Deco and
Look at these. How many of these did they demolish for? That's what I want to know now. Is how many of those types of buildings were demolished for this lot?
We probably would need a Detroit expert, but I'm imagining it was more of like the smaller, like
low
10,
level stuff,
15-story buildings. Yeah,
I'm still this sort of thing, basically, like probably not even that size, like smaller than that would have been flat. Very upsetting, anyway. I look forward to that being reversed in the future that we all need and will love. So Detroit, Lansing. Where have we got to? This is taking us so long. I knew this would happen. It's fine though.
Yeah.
The stupidity score is 6.2. No, it's fine. We're gonna pick up the pace and we're gonna jump to. Oh, maybe we're not gonna pick up the pace. This is a journey I've done by rail. Philly to Harrisburg. Harrisburg, by the way, absolutely lovely. There's a very, very gorgeous market town. I'm gonna head over to Philly. There we go. Let's see how quickly I can fly over to Philly. There we go. Oh no, that's what. Why is this is?
You have Philadelphia.
I do have Philadelphia, but I think the issue is that I did it in my. I need to get rid of this. There we go.
Oh yeah, get rid of the
I just got rid of the wrong one. Secrets. It's fine. The map of secrets. Thankfully, I've not zoomed in on enough that the secrets are visible. But I'm going to do this and this. We're going to do this a manual way without any. I'm going to manually navigate my way over to Philly. Watch me embarrass myself. There we go. Right. So there we go.
Let's see. Can you do it?
So
can you stick it?
There's Miami. There we go. So there's this bit. There's this. Oh God. All this naff rubbish over here. There is no.
Get warmer.
No, that's that.
There we go.
Oh, that is Philly. Oh, I managed it. I recognise the shape of Philly. There's a Schuylkill on this side.
Yep. You got
there's New Jersey over here. And
you didn't get to go to nice parts of Jersey then.
To be fair, I didn't go to. I was just doing the generic everyone laughs at New Jersey situation.
So the parts of New Jersey that people shit on are North Jersey, like right by Newark Airport, and rightfully so. But the rest of New Jersey is lovely.
There is the largest building visible from the sky in Center City there, which I actually...
Convention Center.
There's the Convention Center. There it is, yeah. There. Anyway, I digress. Philly, everyone. So there's Philadelphia, and if you if you whiz over now, let me have to remind myself the way to Harrisburg.
West.
So going this way, Harrisburg. I'm guessing.
Go west, young man. No, that's Reading.
Oh, that's Reading. Here, Harrisburg.
Yeah, that's Harrisburg.
So Harrisburg, I remember because it's on the edge. Things start getting a bit hilly, like all this weird.
That's the Appalachians.
Look at the Appalachians. Look at this weird geography. Look, the U.S. has weird geological fun that we. Anyway, so here's Harrisburg.
And distantly connected, the Appalachian Mountains were formed in the same orogeny as the Scottish Highlands.
They were.
So they were all connected.
Absolutely. So if we ignore all this horrible highway action that's going on, that's making me very upset, and go to Harrisburg proper, which is, let me just pick up the state capital. Here's the state capital. There it is. Harrisburg is gorgeous, and also the state capital's huge, partly because they thought they were going to be the capital of the U.S. for a while, so they really went to town on the infrastructure.
I believe it is the largest state capital building. I believe it is.
When I visited, this fountain here was pink for
breast cancer,
reasons, presumably. Yeah, I actually might be breast cancer, right? Also, here's a load of train stuff over here. Anyway, I digress. What I do want to say about Harrisburg is it's really lovely. There's some very, very lovely old sort of town stuff here. And the market, which is, let me see if I can find the market, where was it? Oh, it was such a, it's here. The market building. Absolutely gorgeous market that had a lovely, local, well, it was nice anyway, before whatever happened here happened. I'm going to hope that that's been fixed. Oh dear, yeah.
I'm looking on Google Maps now.
Hopefully that's been fixed, because that's definitely a fire that Google Maps has captured. Oh, well, anyway.
With photogrammetry, or however you say it.
Yeah, the photogrammetry has picked up the fact that it's all, also has picked up all the fire vehicles in the courtyard. Well, that's sad. Well, hopefully that's not impacted the market too much, because the market is gorgeous, and I'm hoping that it's being repaired.
Oh, sorry, that was my cat.
Hello, cat. No, that was a very audible cat. Hello, cat.
He needs attention, sorry.
It's acceptable. Yeah, here we are. Look, the Broad Street Market. It's gorgeous in Harrisburg. That's my recommendation, is for everyone to go to the Broad Street Market in Harrisburg. It's gorgeous. Also, these really lovely, it's just a properly, nice old historic district. It's just really nice. So
and it's built in that east, Philly style row home.
Yes.
The proper, the old downtown is really pretty. The parts have been kept up and all that. There's definitely some parts of Harrisburg that are a little have seen better times, but no, Harrisburg is a pretty city.
My other tip: several extremely good breweries along here with some really nice food. Why do I know this?
We do like our beer in the state.
Because I was here with Roz, and Roz knows all the best places to have food and drink. That's why. So it was a
he's good for that.
Fun trip. So that's Harrisburg. But you might think, well, Harrisburg to Philly, well, there's a train. I can tell you there's a good train because I took it. It's a very good train. The Keystone. There's a GG1 in this train shed over here, in fact. I can zoom in on it. There's a train shed over here, and in the train shed is, I don't know if it's visible from the Google Earth. Let's just go in. Come on now. Let's see. Is it? No, it's not. It's snarled up in the photogrammetry gore. But in fact, you can see the nose of it. There's a GG1 in here, which makes me very happy. Is it? No. There's no visible. No, there's no visible GG1 in this. But there is a GG1 in this train shed. There is a station, by the way, if you're wondering. It's a nice station building, but the roof is a little bit shit. Like they've replaced it with like just corrugated iron for cheapness reasons. Anyway, that's Harrisburg. Very nice. Flying between this place and Philly is very stupid, though. So it's 135 kilometers. The flight time is 55 minutes. The actual train time is an hour 44. It's a very pleasant hour 44, but it's a leisurely train journey. Like, it's not a fast train journey. You definitely feel like it's leisurely, but it's nice. It's good. Fairly frequent. That trains around pretty frequently. You could have a 51-minute train time, quite realistically, along that route. Eminently realistic. Again, beating the flight time. By the way, these flight times are, wheels up to wheels down. This is not including all the faff that you've got at each end, which potentially is 2 hours. So
taxi time for you to get your, you're taking
exactly
your bags of I don't know what shit your cheesesteaks to Harrisburg.
Yeah. So genuinely, like, if you've got a 5-minute flight time versus an hour 44 on the train's quicker. The current train is quicker than flying. Like, genuinely and realistically, it is. And also,
especially flying from Philadelphia Airport, which is not it's like
it takes a lot of time to get out there. Like there's that little line thing that goes out there, but it is a bit of a pain in the ass to get out to there. And I've no idea what that. I presume that because it's regional, the Harrisburg airport is not so bad, but yeah, probably not great. So what's the stupidity score? It's pretty high, folks. It's 7.2. That's a pretty high stupidity score. So again,
this rail infrastructure has been here for over 100 years. This area has had railroads forever.
Yeah, like literally as long as the city existed, there were railroads here feeding it. Like it's just almost to that extent, right?
Yeah, but as soon as it starts to become a thing in the United States, Philadelphia is a major railroad city.
Yes, yeah, just like these flights, the idea of flying from Philly to Harrisburg is extremely stupid to me. I just don't understand why you would do that. It's just daft. It just doesn't make any sense. I tell you what, like frequency of service could be improved, right? But that would require a huge amount of extra capacity at 30th Street. Like they're just, all this infrastructure would cascade down. You need more of it. But good, yeah, do that.
Was when you took the Keystone, was it down to double? Did they have the quad track still, or was it down to double?
Very good question. No, it's down to double, I think, in places. I think I remember Ross moaning about some of the changes they've been making.
Yeah, because it used to be part of the Pennsylvania Main Line, which was the crown jewel, Pennsylvania Railroad. Yeah.
Sad times. Why is infrastructure getting pulled up rather than put in? Very frustrating. So Philly, Harrisburg, two cities that I have been to, strangely, and found I love Philly. I will not stop raving about Philly, probably because I now have friends there, which makes it a place that I clearly would want to go again. But also Harrisburg, Roz and I were very angry because Steve Greyhound screwed up our plans, but we did actually have a very nice time wandering around in there because it's a very interesting city architecturally, not just the old stuff, but quite a lot of quite interesting mid-century architecture and second third of the previous century, second 2/3 of the previous century architecture as well. Very interesting. Harrisburg, very nice. Good beer. Right, we're now going somewhere quite different. We're on our way down from Charlotte to Asheville. Now, Tom.
Oh, let's see if you can find it. Yes.
Let's do the Google Earth first, because this is trickier. This is trickier because
if you are playing, what's the one that we play on the Railroader? It's not too far from where that line is.
Shitting Nora, right? Okay, right. I've gone down to here. What is this? What have I just found? What's this city that I've just found my way down to?
Let's see.
There's some motorway gore. Where's this? This is.
I was trying to mirror you.
Yeah. Go on. Where have I found my way to? What is this? Is this could be Charlotte? Wait a minute. Let me go to. Let's find. Let me go to.
It's not Charlotte.
It's not Charlotte.
What city is that on the big road? People are like so mad at us right now.
So mad and angry, shouting at us right now. I know, right. Oh no, I went over to no, it's Knoxville. This is Knoxville.
Oh, yeah, you went too
famous
far.
for Jackass. The guy with the same name, Johnny. Shout out to Johnny Knoxville. Is he cancelled? Probably.
Although they were from Westchester. Well,
yeah.
The shows is
so that's where the University of Tennessee is, and again, Knoxville probably nice, but not relevant to this episode. But I am not far off because
Rocky Top, Tennessee. That's a drop you need.
Is this now Asheville?
You could just type it in, or that wouldn't be fun.
No, because this is Asheville. I just found my way to Asheville via Knoxville. I knew it was vaguely around here.
Looks like Asheville.
This is Asheville. So this is Asheville. Tell me about Asheville. What's Asheville? What's going on at Asheville?
It's a pretty mountain city where you have it's a nice blue enclave in a otherwise red state.
Oh yeah, okay.
It's got the Biltmore Estate. It's got I think Sierra Nevada's breweries, East Coast brewery location.
Nice.
And I believe there's I forget which university's in there. Is it? Hold on.
There's some buildings on a hill being built. Some 5/1s. Oh no, they're not 3/1s on a hill being built there. Very nice. This looks really nice.
University of North Carolina.
This looks
Asheville.
Asheville looks nice, actually.
It's by all accounts a lovely town.
Yeah, really nice. And also, there's some railroad infrastructure. Hell, boys, we got trains. There's railroad, some serious railroad infrastructure here. So why are we? I mean, I don't even know where the bloody airport is. Where have they squeezed an airport? Because this is hilly. There's some hills going on here, folks. Where's
this
the
is
airport?
Definitely the most regional of flights. It's south on the other side of like the ridge.
Yeah, there it is. So if I was that, there's the hill. So there's an airport. So you've got the airport, which is way out of the city center, but fine, okay, we're in the hills. How do we get there by? So that's from to Charlotte. Now, unfortunately, in the UK, I dare say people remember Charlotte from being the situation where the woman protester was killed by a guy in a car. That's where I think a lot of people know Charlotte.
I think that's Charlottesville.
Oh shit! It is. In which case, which
is in Virginia.
It is. Of course, it's Charlottesville in Virginia. In which case, no one knows anything about Charlotte other than it's a woman's name. What's happening in Charlotte?
Named. Well, what king had a Charlotte for a wife?
Oh yeah, that'll do it. Oh yeah. Well, one of the Georges.
Queen Charlotte. So, yeah. The South, was a refuge for cavaliers who ran away during this English Civil War. So there's a lot more royal place names in the South.
Yeah, I don't like. This is not Charlotte. I did not just go to Charlotte. That isn't Charlotte. Wait a minute. Let me find my way over to Charlotte. Is this Charlotte here?
The wife of George III. Oh,
George,
really? Oh, come on.
That's not Charlotte. Oh God, where I've got lost.
No, Charlotte is slightly to the east of east by south. It's in like a middle of a plain. Like there's no real body of water.
Charlotte. There we go. Charlotte.
The Charlotte Airport is quite large, though.
Yep. Oh. Oh, yeah, that's it. Because it's got the airport to one side. It's got this enormous... Charlotte Douglas International Airport is huge. Like, it's an enormous airport. Look at the size of this thing. Massive. Does it need to have an airport that size? No, it absolutely does not. No, it does not. It doesn't need to have the airport this size. Because, for example, you could get rid of the flight to Asheville. Talking of which... So this is a picture of Asheville, looking very nice. It's 146 kilometers from Charlotte to Asheville. So what is that, like 90 miles or something? An hour, 5 minutes flight time. There is no train. But as we've seen by us googling into Google Earth, there is definitely railway infrastructure. The potential train time, if you build... so this is with a slower average speed. I've accepted the fact that the geography is a bit more... it's hilly. Right? If we go back to the Google Earth, it's the Charlotte. Go back to Asheville... it's hilly. Like that's that'll do. That's fine.
Asheville is sort of like, if we were going to extend the geographic reference, Asheville is sort of like Harrisburg. It's tucked away in the Piedmont, the foothills of the Appalachians.
Yeah.
They would say Appalachians down there, but you definitely cross into some hills.
Yes, so with a slower average speed, accepting a more regional type railway connection, you can still get a train giving you a 55-minute journey time to Charlotte, from Charlotte to Asheville, sorry, which means the stupidity score now, because of the mountains, the stupidity score is lower. So we've only got a 5.6 on the stupidity score here because of the mountain presence. It means that it's got a slightly higher. Yes, okay, there can be there's a little bit more understanding of why there are flights here because of the terrain. But the railway's there. There could be trains. Even if the journey time wasn't terrific, if you had a train every hour or even every half hour, pray tell, then you could have a much better access into what is, by this picture and by what we were looking at, a very fascinating and interesting city of Asheville. So, yeah, stupidity score, it's low on our list so far, but 5.6 on the score. We move. We're back to Philly again, but this is a classic. This has got to be a classic route in the US, right? If not New York to Washington, then Philly to New York has to be one of the most kind of commuted routes in the US,
absolutely.
Right?
People don't realize how close Philadelphia and New York City are. It's 90 minutes drive.
Yeah, these are places that people do commute between these cities, like live in Philly, commute to New York. Philly is a bit cheaper to live in, so you commute to New York, absolutely common thing to do. And to be fair, why not? It takes me in York slightly more time to get to London than it takes for me to get to Philly to New York. It's like it takes the same time to get across London as it takes to get to Philly to New York. It's like this by certain transit means anyway, if perhaps not driving. So the distance is 154 kilometers. So still under 100 miles here. Is what 90-ish miles between the two, something like that. It's an hour flight between the two. Okay, so if you got New Jersey Transit, it might take you a bit of time on the train. You could do that. But the actual train time, if you take the Northeast Corridor, Amtrak, the Acela, is an hour 27. I believe an hour 27 is the fastest train time between Philly and New York, which is, to be fair, not bad. Could be faster, but it's not bad. You could achieve, to be fair, with proper high-speed rail, you'd only get that down to 58 minutes. So yes, it would be a saving, but not a huge saving. An hour 27 is pretty good on existing infrastructure. So 58 minutes if you have proper high-speed line. I mean, we don't need to say much about Philly, New York. Everyone knows New York's the one place everyone knows everything about, or they think they do, right? And we've already talked about Philly. So Philly, New York, the stupidity score is 7.1. So it's not the highest we've seen, but it's pretty high. Philly, New York is a bit like Manchester, Birmingham, and people who fly between Manchester and Birmingham. It really makes no sense whatsoever. There are so many good train options. What I would say about Amtrak is that there's not enough capacity. Like, if they increase the number of trains, which they couldn't because the infrastructure is pretty crammed on the Northeast Corridor, they increase the number of trains, they'd fill those seats. The demand is absolutely there, and the surge pricing they use on Amtrak is on the Acela is pretty high. Like you get some pretty high fares,
it's not
right?
Cheap. It's pretty expensive. Even the Northeast Regional, which is the slower one, it's fairly expensive.
But that's partly because the demand's there. They know they'll fill the seats, right? So they can price it that way.
Amtrak has a profit mandate. Amtrak is supposed to, they want Amtrak to break even. Like they want to make money out. It's this this stupid American idea of like everything has to have like a profit motive.
Yeah. Ugh. I mean, it doesn't need firstly, if you run enough trains, there are two ways to do the profit motive, right? One way is keep the infrastructure you've got and price it to the demand, and therefore the prices are extremely high and only like kind of well-off people can actually afford to take the train, which is a shitty way to do it. The other way you do it is you meet the demand. You build up the infrastructure until you actually satisfy the demand or beyond, and therefore you have enough bums on seats that you don't need to charge the earth because they've got so many people travelling by a system that has fixed infrastructure costs that actually you are making money by simple merit of how many people you're moving, right? So
yeah, I mean this could be. I mean these trains usually are pretty busy. Yeah, you could sack. I mean, it's the biggest city on the East Coast. With a major outlying city. I don't along the most densely populated corridor of land in the United States. This should be a fast train. Again, hour 27 is not bad. Driving wise, that's about. The actual train time's about the same, but that's not counting for like traffic getting in them. Like
like getting where you want to get to, and like particularly if you're in Manhattan or something like right, it's hell. Like
absolutely. And the flight I looked up was from Philadelphia to JFK. No, LaGuardia.
It was LaGuardia.
Yeah, which is in Queens. So. It's
so you're getting public transport to get into the city anyway. At that point, frankly, there's no quicker way to get from LaGuardia into from Queens into wherever you are in the center of New York than hopping on the subway.
And there were actually, I saw there historically were flights from like Philadelphia to Newark, which is even closer. It doesn't even get you the benefit of popping you down in the city. You still have to like get into New York City proper.
Just obviously the train is better. Although there's I mean, it's funny, isn't it? Because actually, 30th Street has capacity limitations, but nothing to what the capacity limitations are through Manhattan. Like there are serious problems, and we've talked about them I think I talked about them on the bonus episode I did with the W2IP gang, talking about Penn Station. Like there are serious capacity constraints through New York City. Fix them. The solution, everyone, is for them to be fixed and for you to have more train. But where else are we going? Well, we've got a picture of a plane.
Another route that I have taken the train on. So I mean, I have taken the Northeast Corridor. I've also taken this train. So
Los Angeles to San Diego, right? This is a route that has a current train, and at some point in the distant future might have a faster train as well.
Yeah,
175 kilometers to get from Los Angeles, LA to San Diego, right? San Diego famous for that time a T-Rex was in it. And also, Anchorman is the other reason why people might know San Diego, because I'm pretty sure Anchorman is in San Diego, right?
Yes.
Two cities will be connected by high-speed rail at some point between now and the 2200s. So
eventually,
lock in on that. 175 kilometers, flight time of an hour in one of these funny little commuting Embraer. No, what is it? This is an Embraer, by the look. What is this?
I looked up. It's supposed to be an E175, but
okay.
You looked up this image.
Oh shit! So I did. When you and I looked up this picture, and I looked it up, and you had no control over it.
N9NN. Hold on.
Go on, get Googling. Find out where that goes. I have to say I'm not a fan of this livery.
That
It's
is an
not great.
Embraer 175LR. So
Yes,
I like them. They're cute. I like
They
the
are
design.
cute.
I like the cute.
It's one of
like,
those
my
situations
favorite
where it's
plane is
cute.
the-
It
is
shouldn't
the A-
exist because if it's this cute, it probably does a flight that should be
No.
done by a train. But it is
Like-
cute. I'll give you that.
Like the little 737, or my favorite cute plane is the A318. It's so tiny.
Yeah,
and
it is.
cute.
It is so tiny. It does look like someone's chopped its ass in front off and then scissored it, like scissored it together. Queer inclusivity. Sorry,
welded.
sellotaped it together. Yeah, it's a bit of a cut and shut type situation. So the train time between these two cities at the moment is 2 hours 54 minutes. So 3 hours basically versus a 1 hour flight time, which is nay great. The potential train time could be. Oh, go on.
Oh, well, it is. First off, it's a hell of a beautiful train. It is
Yes.
a party train. There we got. Man, I got like the red cap service. We paid for first class ticket. We got like they took us out in a little golf cart to get on the train. You leave central LA and are dropped off in central San Diego. It is so convenient. It was such a beautiful train and free wine, just so much fun.
So here-
highly recommend the Surfliner.
So here's the city of Los Santos. Los Angeles
Yeah.
here, and
So that's Long Beach. You have to go further
oh,
north.
sorry. Yes,
Los Angeles is just hell.
sorry. So that's Long Beach. Forgive me.
So see that marina?
This is Los Angeles.
Yes. Well, that marina is well. So you see LAX there.
Oh yeah, there's LA. Oh my God,
There's LAX.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Phew, I mean, there's an airport.
I mean, there's
Bloody
800 airports in LA County. There's one in Microsoft Flight Simulator. They literally have you as part of your training fly from one into the other. Like, oh, you completed a cross country flight.
Oh,
Oh,
that's
3
one.
minutes.
There's another one.
Yeah, there's another one.
That's a huge airport. I don't even know what that is.
They're all huge. You go like north to Burbank and all that.
This is an
Yeah.
airport that's the size of Manchester Airport. Like, this is a huge
Yeah.
airport. And it's just 15 minutes from the other one. It's just there.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah,
There's another
go
one.
go north. Go north.
That's the size
into
of Edinburgh.
Oh, there's another one.
That's the size of Edinburgh Airport.
Yeah,
It's-
that
it's-
is like go into the San Fernando Valley. Go north, and you'll see. Up in this area, there's like 3 of them, right next to each other. If you go to the south,
Oh God.
you went too far. You went to meth territory. Oh,
I went meth.
yeah. Left, west. Go west, young man.
Oh, west. Here we go. I'm here.
Then south.
South.
Where is it? Where can I find it? I was just flying there the other day in Flight
This
Sim.
is someone who
God
knows
damn.
the terrain well through. Oh, there's an airport.
Yeah, there's Bob Hope Airport.
Bob Hope. There we go.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Burbank Airport.
basically, many airports. This is the airport city. I mean, among other things, the marina is quite nice. I mean, I know the city intimately, and not at all because I've played far too much. Two games worth of computer game city version of this. What I want to know is where's Grove Street? Where's Grove Street? No,
Oh,
joke.
Grove Street. Just look for Compton.
That's it, yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
so Los Angeles, everyone knows about Los Angeles, right? All the famous stuff is there. Where's the observatory and where's the Hollywood sign? All these things.
So you're too far east. You see that clump of buildings?
There's hills.
Go west.
Go west.
Go west. See.
west.
All right. There's the downtown.
Oh, okay. There's a
That's
high
where
bay.
all that
Oh,
stuff-
yeah. This is okay. So the other thing I know about this is Day After Tomorrow smashes this city up, as does all the other Roland Emmerich things. But I know the Day After Tomorrow one better. So there's the middle, and the big hurricane comes in and blows half this building off. Okay, which means that there's the famous.
There's Dodger
Yeah,
Stadium.
Dodgers. Yep, there's the Dodgers, which is actually quite geographically interesting around there. That's more geographically
You
interesting
could
than I
land a
expected.
plane in that car.
That's
in
a-
that parking lot.
Holy cow, that is a car park. Turn that into a town. That should. Oh my god.
It used to be. They bulldozed. It was called Chavez Ravine.
Gee, I don't like that at all. I'm going to be quite honest with you. That makes me very unhappy. Okay, if I go this, so I'm using my my Los Santos geography.
It actually will help you a little bit.
There's the
will help
observatory.
you.
There's the observatory.
There you go. There's Griffith.
There
Yeah.
it is. There it is. And this is kind of what it looks like. So if I look this way, you've got all the fancy houses on the hills down here.
Yes. Yeah. Beverly Hills.
That's Beverly Hills. There it is. There's George Clooney's house and such. So this really has been a bit of a US tour, hasn't it? We've gone all over the place. So if that's the observatory, and the geography is always bigger than obviously in the computer game. Oh, there it is. Yeah, there it is. Okay, fine. Yeah, there's the.
It looks like it's melting though.
It looks a bit AI generated at this point because the photogrammetry is taking a bit of time to catch up. There we go. That's better. That's better. That's not bad. So there it is, and then a bunch of 5G towers above there. And there it is. Look at that. That's quite nice, isn't it? There's the city. There's downtown. Thank you, Google Earth, for giving us a genuinely. Oh, and there's the dam as well. That's nice. Oof. It's quite. I can understand why you'd want to live here because that's nice. That's probably quite nice to run around in. It's all horribly gentrified and blah blah blah. But anyway, there we are.
I'm sure. Yeah. And you live up in the hills, so it's not as like hot. So
yeah, lovely. So there's Los Angeles. Now let's go further south because if we're making our way
there
down to,
you're right there.
Here it is.
Oh. No,
I'm too
You're
far
going
down.
to Tijuana.
I'm in Tijuana. So Tijuana's south of the big thing. And oh my god, there's the airport, I guess. Look at this real estate. This could be city. Why have they dedicated all? This is what. So I talk a lot in the book about how stupid airports are. Look how stupid this is. In absolutely.
Have you ever been to San Diego?
I haven't. No.
All right. When you fly into San Diego, you can look into people's houses. It is an insanely.
This is the size of a city centre. This could be wonderful. Yeah. This could be nice housing and like residential and sort of interesting commercial and parks and. I mean, it could be parks. This could be a lovely municipal space in the middle of the city. And instead, it's fucking 2 miles of tarmac.
Yeah.
Yuck. What a stupid idea.
Abutting against the
Airlines.
highway.
I see Southwest Airlines, much Southwest Airlines. I recognise that livery.
They have barriers on the eastern end of the runway to make sure that cars don't get hit by jet blast. That's the western end.
I know geography. North, east, south, west. There we go. Oh
yeah. See those little deflectors there?
Oh yeah.
So you don't get your car knocked over by a jet blast by a Southwest.
There's some geography going on. So like the planes probably come in about the same height above the ground on their way down on their like descent trajectory.
Oh, yeah. It is when you're flying the plane, you think you're going to crash. Like when you're in the plane, like as a passenger, you think, "Oh, we're gonna die," but no, that's just San Diego. I think only there was a time that a plane landing at San Diego did hit a Cessna and land in the neighborhood.
Oh yes, it's in. There is an air crash investigation episode on that. I remember it. In fact, it's probably one of the ones I've shown. Not good. Yeah. So again, this episode is okay. It's me and Tom just being stupid for what is now an hour 15, but also it's partly a bit of a. Look at all this wasted space. This doesn't need to be here. If you have proper rail infrastructure, you build your airport hub. If you are going to have an airport, because, okay, flying across the US from one side to the other it's going to be a while before that's beaten by rail. I'll be quite honest with you on that. Mm-hmm. But in terms of coastal connectivity, this doesn't need... And what's interesting is the reason people get, Musks of the world and the morons who follow him around on his coattails don't realize that the reason that high-speed rail has appeared reasonably organically in California mostly between these two cities, actually. And okay, so eventually, hopefully, it'll get up to San Fran. But, this is partly because the airport capacity is at its limit and there's nowhere else to put an airport. There is no other way to... or if they were going to put a new airport in, it would be more expensive than building the high-speed rail. There is a reason for it. It's come out of necessity. And in a way, my book points out the fact that it's an inevitability that this stuff will kind of create its own demise. But also, this is just a stupid way to use this land. Land is a really valuable resource. San Diego, probably quite a nice city. Think how much nicer it'd be.
I love San Diego. It's a beautiful city.
Think how much nicer it'd be if this was a big park. My God, yeah. Ugh. Get rid of the airport. Anyway,
you actually just a little fun fact there. The ship from Master and Commander is there in the marina on the right-hand side.
Right-hand side. We're going here.
Not in that marina.
Not in that marina. That's
on the
little boats.
On the right side of the bay. Yeah.
Over here. Ah, right.
Yeah,
okay.
By the city. Yeah. Yep. Keep going.
That's not it. That's an old steamer.
It's one of
them. That's a super yacht.
It's one of the sailboats there.
Oh, there is.
There she is. Yeah.
Look at that. Not that one. That's a big old. That's what ships look like in Victorian times.
No. We want. Was it?
This is more like it. Yeah.
What's the song? I'm sure you all have to learn it in school. Was it?
Meanwhile, this thing has me intrigued. The Berkeley. Look at this. Oof.
Yeah, the hearts of oak when men were men.
That's it. Why is absolutely everyone oddly pilled at the moment? Anyway, so here's.
Oh well, I'm the original Aubrey Pill guy.
Okay. Yeah. So, what is this? What's the Berkeley? What is? It's like an old sort of shallow water steamer.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I've never seen her. But I was in San Diego the 2 times I was there. But they do have quite a nice.
There's a sub. There's a nice World War II
submarine. Yeah,
World War II.
There's the USS Midway is there. You can walk along this.
This whole, where's the Midway? I want to find the Midway. Where's the Midway?
The waterfront here. No. Yeah, there's.
Oh, there's a. Oh no, that's newer. That's not the Midway. That's
the Midway.
Is it? Why has it got jets on it?
Oh, because they got all sorts of stuff.
Oh, they kind of turned it into a bit of a U.S. Naval Museum type situation.
Yeah, so it's a pretty cool museum.
Yeah, nice. That's the Midway. Well known for that guy off of Planet of the Apes being upset on it. I'm a big fan of Tora Tora Tora. It's a good film. Anyway, there's the USS Midway. Nice. My God, now, listen to Lions Led by Donkeys if you want more Pacific Theater fun stuff. Also, just read about the Pacific Theater. It's really interesting naval stuff. It's cool.
And go to San Diego. Go take the Surfliner. Go drink some beer on the train.
Here's a little hint as to what you could have in that space that the airport takes up. Look at this fun stuff. You can have a little splashy water park.
There you go.
Instead of that, you've got Sadhorn's this. Some really hot tarmac.
It is really fun to fly into in the game, though.
I know, but you can still fly into it. The game has saved it. Now, in the real world, we can bulldoze it and turn it into, nice space. I'm very upset by this. Also, you'll know there's a railway going. There's got to be a railroad. That's a railroad I see here.
Mm-hmm.
And quite a nice looking one, actually. Fair play. I presume that's where your Amtrak comes through.
Yeah, it goes a little further south into the city.
Yeah,
drops you right off. Yeah,
very nice, lovely. It's quite nicely graded. Apart from, I say, all the fucking level crossings. Those don't make me happy.
Oh yeah, we almost had a Uber driver. He tried to stop. He's like, I don't think that's for me.
This looks.
I was like, no, that's for you.
This looks like the kind of architecture. Oh no, that's a skyscraper. This looks like the kind of architecture I'd be familiar with. Up at Union Station, actually, looks a bit like this. It's like Los Angeles. Similar.
Yeah, very similar.
I'm weirded out. Building, get out of the way. I'm inside a building which Google Earth is very unhappy about. But there we go. I've escaped. Santa Fe, very nice. That's quite nice, actually. Fair play. Oh, look. There we go.
Was that one of the...
it's a Surfliner.
The Caltrain.
One of the
Surfliner,
yeah, very nice. Getting fueled up by a truck. I mean, surely you got fixed fuel points for that. I mean, never mind. Very nice station. Very nice. And also this weird, little bit of track, which I presume is for the
tram.
For the tram. Oh, I see.
Yeah, they have a tram. So they do have a system of a trolley tram, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. Nice. Well, okay, and there's a few spiky buildings, all kind of weirdly distant from each other, actually. Which
it is weird. The downtown, the cute part of San Diego is further south. It's the Gaslight District, which is where the stadium is. Yeah, right around there.
Oh yeah. This looks a bit more. Yeah, okay, a bit more.
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah, and then some nasty stuff. Some nasty stuff down here as well, like car parks. But that's stadium adjacent, I would guess.
If I had to pick a West Coast city, it'd be San Diego.
Ah, interesting. Anyway, everyone, look, it's where you
I've sat there.
Really?
I refused to stand for the national anthem once there.
Oh, look, there you go. It's the Padres in a literal.
Yep. You got what's his name on there. I can't think of his name. Oh my God, I'm a baseball guy. I have a sports podcast.
You have a sports podcast. This is a place where sports is played. Actually, I'm looking at the architecture on the outside. That's quite a nice bit of architecture.
It's a beautiful stadium. Quite nice, actually. It's an absolutely beautiful stadium, and the park outside of it is also part of the stadium, the hill. So you can sit on that hill and drink beers.
Oh, nice. Oh, I've got myself bloody stuck in the side of the building again. That's lovely. It's nice. Yeah. Very nice. Anyway, there are sports adjacent situation. There's also this big square of undeveloped land, which looks quite nice as well. San Diego, everyone.
That's probably the zoo.
There's always a zoo, isn't there? Anyway, right.
Oh, the San Diego Zoo, by the way. I'm just selling people in San Diego.
I've heard of the San Diego Zoo. That's how good I'm from it. Also, possibly I've heard of the San Diego Zoo via Anchorman again, actually, in hindsight.
And TV shows, too.
People have mentioned the zoo. What's the stupidity score of this flight? The stupidity score of this flight is 7.3.
Yes.
So a minute ago we had 7.1 for Philly, New York. Los Angeles, LA, San Diego, 7.3. So really stupid flight. That's real stupid. What's the next one we're doing? Oh, who's this guy? Oh, it's a genocide enabler.
Is that Joseph Robinette Biden?
It is, yeah. Look, back
without
when he was in his
plugs,
70s.
His natural hair, without his facelift.
Yeah, without all the stuff they've done to him to make him not die. All the stuff you get if you're the president and they give you all the weird medicine. Yeah. Lujanus takes gold in springboard. That's on his newspaper. Anyway, Philly to Washington D.C. We're talking about other routes. Well, you've got Philly to Washington. You know, if anyone's not familiar, the massive population that is the Boss Wash megalopolis, running from Boston all the way down through, including Philly, New York, right down to Washington. Enormous population, incredibly densely populated. It has the Northeast Corridor. It would benefit from further enhancements, frankly, to the rail connection there. But you have a flight time of an hour 10, and you have a train journey of an hour 41. So this is a pretty damn good train connection from Philly down to Washington, D.C., right? 224 kilometers. The potential train time of this, with the high-speed rail, with full high-speed rail, you only really get down to an hour 7 minutes. So actually, you know, an hour 41 is pretty damn good. You know, the Acela is running at a decent old lick for a mixed traffic railway. It's running at a decent old lick on the Northeast Corridor. I don't want to.
The more southerly stretches, I guess, are straighter.
Yes,
than,
they are.
All the
some really
windy
good
tracks up in. Yeah, Connecticut and all that.
Yeah, for sure. I don't want to scare you, but quite a lot of like late era British rail engineering went into the Northeast Corridor because we sent a lot of our guys over. And in fact, there's quite a lot of track infrastructure that is like derived directly from like British rail P-way. Like a few of the crossings and stuff is old P-way technology, like rail track era stuff actually, which that's the thing to scare you, is the fact that there's rail track era infrastructure that's actually probably still out there operating, some swingless crossings and things that are ours, some movable frogs as you call them over there. So apologies for that. But yeah, the Northeast Corridor, the stupidity score of this, it's 7.1 again. So it's an extremely stupid connection. I'm going to whiz through this one because everyone knows about Philly and everyone knows about Washington D.C. So we're not going to. We've done these two, right? So there's that connection again. Extremely stupid flight to connect those.
Anything on the Northeast Corridor.
It's just very stupid. Yeah, exactly. It's just obviously very stupid. But then we move much further south. So we've gone. Where have we gone? Let's test my state knowledge here because my state knowledge used to be very good for various searches. I now have to search my state knowledge. So Maryland. We've gone through Maryland. We've gone through Virginia. We've gone through the Carolinas. We've worked our way through Sugar Lumps. There's one more. Georgia. We've gone through Georgia.
Yes.
And we're in Florida because we're going to land in Fort Lauderdale here. Here we go. This is one of the longer journeys we've talked about. One of possibly the longest journeys we talked about, actually. 286 kilometers. Here's a picture of Fort Lauderdale looking, I'm going to be honest with you, Floridian. And I don't mean, that's Floridian brackets derogatory.
In that sort of vein, that southeast corner of Florida, the Miami, the Palm Beach, like corridor there, where you couldn't pay me to live there. I hate it. I hate the people that live there. It's all, it sucks. I'm sure there's a handful of good people there. I hate that part of the country. I spent like a long weekend in Miami and I absolutely hated it. The city sucks. It's not a city. It's just a swamp it's different swamps connected with highways. It's too humid. It's sinking into the ground. It's not meant for this population.
I was going to say it's worth emphasizing the extent to which all of what you can see on your television screens right now will not exist in 20 to 30 years.
No. And when we were looking at the Google Maps and you saw Philadelphia and DC and you saw how the coastline was less populated. And
yes, really important to grasp
because
that.
It's all estuary. It's all you know, but they decided to take these tidal inlets and these barrier islands that are rightfully lightly populated in our area and just build massive rich people asshole houses.
Yeah, so here's Philly. You'll notice generally you keep some of the industry and stuff on the edge of the coast, right? Mm-hmm. There's Philly. Let's whiz down from beautiful, wonderful, gorgeous, delicious Philadelphia down the coast. Let's find
all these pretty barrier islands.
All this stuff.
Suddenly,
and then
you get to Florida.
Oh,
you get to Palm Beach.
This whole situation here. What's all this going on? Oh, okay. Oh.
These are all retirees who are trying to recreate some sort of golden age of the 1950s and that they've imagined. This is like the fascism factory.
I hate to break it to you, everyone, but this is like where a village gets popular in Serbia, and everyone squeezes into the little lots they've built, and it's Grocka south of Belgrade, and everyone's got their little lot, and they make their little lot their palace. And actually, although I have to say my father-in-law's little plot in Grocka is very nice, as is the adjacent one owned by family, a lot of them are really cheap and tacky and horrible. And it's quite a lot like in fact, all of Florida reminds me not even of that, but like of Gastarbeiter villages where everyone like has their little plot and their house is grim and utterly just ugh. So sorry, Florida, that your whole thing, but you're not doing any better than like the cheaply rebuilt bits of ex-Yugoslav townships outside of the cities.
So we're saying Florida is like the Serbia of the South.
Florida's the Serbia of the South, yeah, exactly. And I brackets derogatory, because I love lots of bits of Serbia, but the bits of Serbia that this reminds me of are not bits of Serbia I love.
I've met more Serbians that I've had pleasant conversations with than I have Floridians.
Yeah, look. Serbia is a cool country with lots of cool people, of which a lot of the less cool people, sadly, are also still alive and are in charge. And let me tell you that, those people are the ones who have the houses that look like this, the bad ones. Yeah, the brackets derogatory. Look at all these pools. These people think they're cool, but actually they're not. They live in a swamp. And they live
in a swamp, and that's why there's drainage ditches everywhere. There's alligators walking around. Man was not meant to live there.
And you know what?
There's a reason it was swamp.
In 30 years, man will no longer live here. And again, just to reemphasize, we're not joking around here. This whole area is going to be day after tomorrowed by the middle of this century. Like it's difficult to express the extent to which all of this will not exist anymore. To which we probably ought to discuss flying in and out of here.
Yeah.
Talking of which, look, what's this? I'll tell you what it is. It's a level crossing vehicle destruction machine. Is what it is. Beautiful bit of railway alignment.
You know what though? It's punishing Floridian drivers.
You're right.
I'm not upset about it.
So all I'm visualizing here is the noise is like a ding 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 ding, and a guy just being like, I don't care about what that warning is. That's not for me because it's a Floridian and nothing is for them. And driving straight across and being obliterated by a large US diesel locomotive.
Not letting the liberal sign tell me what to do.
Yeah, that's right. Anyway, RIP. Yeah, I mean, obviously you have to get rid of all these level crossings. It's ridiculous. But
I imagine that
the alignment is gorgeous. It's just that the level crossings are insane. Like
grade separation is woke.
Well, this is it. Yeah, I mean, famously.
It's DEI.
Look where this railway goes. I mean, it runs. I mean, Brightline doesn't run this far? Question mark. Just Brightline. No, it does. It does. It does.
No,
it runs
to
Miami. Yeah, so that is Brightline is doing this. This is Brightline running along, and this alignment is, folks. This is a superb railway alignment. Like, this is terrific. Except all of the grade crossings. What the hell? So many level crossings. Just like this alignment. Okay, that's a bit tighter, but broadly, this alignment is excellent. You could happily run like a high-speed line level of provision through here. It's so good. I mean, we're getting beyond Fort Lauderdale now, and we're down into kind of Miami proper at this point. But I just wanted to emphasize the extent to which this is great. Other than whatever's going on here, which is less great.
Well, you hit the ramp at enough speed and you land on the other side.
That's it. Yeah. Well, that's an exciting movable bridge. Wowza. Otherwise, we digress horribly. But anyway, you get the picture. The train runs around.
You're at Miami International.
That is Miami International. Jeez.
Oh no, wait, no, it's not. It's not.
No, what is that?
That's that's Fort Lauderdale.
Oh, it's is it?
Yeah, you found Fort Lauderdale International.
Oh, I didn't I? Because it's not got the funny. It's not got the double diagonal bit, and then it's not got the kind of the Miami Springs Park north of it. So yeah, that is Fort Lauderdale. My God, how much more of this is there? Oh God, yeah, that is Fort Lauderdale.
It keeps going.
Jesus, so that keeps going, and then you reach this is Miami. Here's Miami. Okay, there's Miami.
And Miami. Oh God, what a just dump.
I have to say, architecturally, none of this looks nice. Like, there's not anything good going on here. Like, probably a couple of older buildings hidden that are nice, but all of this is...
Yeah, I'm sure there is. And like I said, I'm sure there's like... There's some nice Art Deco stuff in South Beach.
The only reason you build a city like this is for it to be destroyed in a climate change based disaster movie. Like that's
this is not Manhattan. This is not a bedrock. This is like a carbonate.
They built it on pudding. It's built on pudding.
Yeah, like it's built on sinkholes.
Yeah. Here's some rail. But I don't think that is Brightline. I think that's probably the local the commuter. No, not even the commuter rail. What is the urban rail system in Miami? That's a weird local. What the fuck is this Gadget Band type situation going on here? Like
it might be some weird people mover type shit. I don't know. Miami.
What is? I mean, yeah. Where are we? We're at
transit.
Some fucked up transit. Anyway, everyone, join the podcast that is well informed about things. We are well informed about the things that we need to be well informed about, and we are.
They have a downtown. It is a people mover.
Oh God! Just what the? Come on.
Wait, an airport with Bitcoin ATMs.
Jeez. What a place. What a Florida. What a place. Here's some rail infrastructure to cheer you up. And unfortunately, it's then dwarfed, or should I say swamped, by this shit, which is... Oh, but this is Miami International Airport. This is the thing, because it then has... Oh, God. Just... I'm sorry. We're an this is a vigorously anti. Actually, we're not anti-Miami because Miami's a word, one of few. Well, it's one of few surviving words of the indigenous population here. So we're not anti-Miami. We are anti the city of Miami, though. In this, yeah, that's it. We're an anti-Florida podcast. It turns out. Anyway, all of this discussion is about the fact that this is flat as a bloody pancake. Very highly populated. Like, there is nothing in the way. It's flat as a bloody pancake. Orlando to Fort Lauderdale. Oh, Orlando, by the way, everyone. No, we didn't want to look at that. We want to look at this. Orlando, by the way, is further up here. So if anyone doesn't know, Orlando,
another place I don't want to go.
It's further up. It's Orlando.
At least it's a city that
here. This is Orlando. This is Orlando. Here,
Again, I don't know why the city's so big. It's not a trading area. It's why is Orlando? It's because of fucking Disney.
Oh, it's because of Disney. I was going to look at this. Look at the size of this airport. It's literally in a swamp, as in like literally.
It's built for Disney. Orlando is in a swamp.
Jeez.
There's a strip of high ground in Florida that is visible from space, west of Orlando. That's about it. Where there you should have a city. I mean, guess Tampa.
Well, Tampa, again, RIP Tampa when that eventually gets obliterated.
Yeah.
So I presume this is downtown because it's Spike here. I presume this is downtown Orlando. But the question is, where is Disneyland? I don't know. I've never been. I don't know where the actual Disneyland is.
We should ask a friend of the show, Liam.
Yeah, Rin, where is?
Yes.
Having sung karaoke in a pub in Philadelphia of Disney, because that's where the night ended up. That's right, Tom. That's where the night ended up. I do know that Rin would know exactly where it is to the millimeter. I do not, however. What's this?
Disney is to the west. It looks like, or no, that's a store.
That's just
it is to the west of Orlando.
So I just decided to come. Here's Disneyland. You can see.
Yeah, there you go.
It's weird that the photogrammetrist captured this like sort of Mad Max convoy of vehicles.
There's a doof wagon to get the flamethrower.
Yeah, exactly. Places that have too much room.
It's funny. It's the portal to Australia. You got Australia right there. Yeah. Well, that was a bad Australian accent.
That was a weird. I was wondering where you were going with it, but no. So
the Philadelphia came out.
Here we go. Is this? This looks particular.
That's probably Disney.
This looks like a thing.
Yeah, that's Epcot.
That's Epcot. Yeah, they've got an orb. There's another orb. Spoiler alert! There's another orb coming up in this episode. There's an orb. Where's the castle though? Where's the big castle?
I don't know.
Oh my god! What is this? Oh gee! Oh, I'm not sure. Don't like that. That's very Las Vegas. That architecture. I'm not convinced by that. There's got to be the Disney Castle. Surely there's a big car park.
What's it called? What's the Magic Kingdom or something like that?
Magic Kingdom, something like that. Yeah. Like the castle that's on the castle that's in every single. Oh, more car park. The castle that's in every single sort of start of a Disney film. Well, no, it's the start of every single film now because Disney own every single studio.
Yeah, that's true.
Is this Is it? No, that's just they're vibing off the fact that it's all a swamp. That's the vibe I'm getting. It's
all swamp. It should not exist. Please restore this land to the Seminoles. Restore it to the alligators. There it is. I am such an. Bryn's gonna hate me if she ever hears this.
There it is.
Fake. What's the fancy one in Bavaria? Schloss, Schwanstein.
Yeah. The child catcher one. Yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
That everyone goes through and gets very excited. What's ironic is they've built a thing that looks like a railroad station that's got the Disneyland People Mover on it that doesn't have trains. So that's great. So they know that there should be trains, but they've built this like European style, this like German style. Is Disney just Germans? I mean, if you look at Walt Disney's political affiliations, I guess so. Yeah. Anyway, there's the Bavarian castle.
Get any,
That's it. Well, Speer did his work. Well, it wouldn't take much zooming to find out. There's some Speer work going on over here. You know what's some Speer work under construction by the look of it. You can never build enough roads, is what we found out, because there's one literally being built as we speak.
The Welthauptstadt Germania, the second choice was in Florida. They couldn't build it in Berlin.
Oh my goodness! Yeah, well, yeah. Oh, so
that's the world capital right there.
Yeah, there we go. So capital of the world there, the Magic Kingdom. So what the fuck are we talking about? Oh yeah, that's right.
Fort Lauderdale to Orlando flight.
The actual train time between these two on Brightline is 4 hours 11 minutes, despite the flight time being an hour 15.
Long.
That's quite a long time.
Train.
Part of that is because of all the grade crossings, meaning it can't go much faster. That's a genuine reason. Like they could. Also, the fact they haven't got an electrified railway. If you're running a frequent service, sorry folks, you need to electrify the railway. There's no avoiding it. Just electrify the damn railway. Diesels, like our HSTs were okay, apart from the crashworthiness, and they are 125 miles an hour. You could be running faster than that on Brightline. Like that's a line that you could be happily running up to 160 miles an hour between your stations. You could do a lot better. Indeed, if you're running this with a kind of a fairly conventional high-speed rail sort of setup, you could be looking at an hour 26. That's with intermediate stops, by the way. That's not non-stop. An hour 26 between Orlando and Fort Lauderdale, which begs the question: what is the stupidity score of this journey? Well, it's a little bit lower. It's the high 6.7, but it's a little bit lower because of the distance in question. So the stupidity score reduces a little bit because of that distance. But yeah, 6.7 is our stupidity score. So we were talking about orbs. Well, we have another orb here because, oh boy, yeah, that's it. We've made our way to Las Vegas. Here is Las Vegas, and here is the orb. 400 kilometers, actually, between Los Angeles. So we're back to LA to Las Vegas. The flight time is an hour 15. The actual train time, we've been to Los Angeles, we've looked at that. We'll whiz over to Las Vegas in a second, but the actual train time is at 3.5 hours. Well, it isn't yet, because that is the time that it will take for you to take a local train to somewhere a bit to the edge of Los Angeles, and then to get that from there to get a high-speed train from a bit at the edge of Los Angeles to Las Vegas, with Brightline Las Vegas. No, I can't remember it is Brightline Las Vegas, isn't it?
Brightline West.
Brightline West, forgive me, that's what it's called. So we were talking about Brightline a minute ago in the original OG Brightline in Florida. Well, Brightline is opening a high-speed line, a genuine high-speed line as well. It will be high-speed services running from not Los Angeles to actual Las Vegas. Let's see if we can go there. We might even be able to go there and see it under construction, actually. So that was Florida. Let's work our way from Florida over to... there we go.
So where's the Rancho Cucamonga Metro? So Rancho Cucamonga is where,
like, here somewhere.
Yeah.
Oh, get down. Can I actually find it? Is the question. Can I find Rancho Cucamonga? Right, we're gonna go. Rancho Cucamonga. Here we go. It is quite a large area, actually.
It's the north. It's northeast of LA. By San Bernardino.
Yes.
Kind of. You're
possibly
kind of
there. Actually, I think this is it here.
There you go. You got it.
Yeah. So there's some infrastructure, and of course, if you see visible infrastructure in the US, unlike
Amazon warehouses.
That's a motorway. There's some car parks. There is some rail infrastructure here somewhere.
Oh yeah.
Will we find it? No, it's likely we won't find it. There's probably a storm drain, though. Is that a storm drain? That's literally a storm drain. Yeah, of course it is.
Is that watch? It's like some major aqueduct.
Yeah, like some absolutely massive piece of like hydrological infrastructure. God damn, am I actually going to find the railroad? Yeah, I don't know if. Also, look at this. Look at this linear hole. You could make this a. To be fair, this looks like it actually is train. This could be train infrastructure. Let's follow this.
Might be the right of way they're building.
Yeah, in which case, where is...
So it's wherever the Rancho Cucamonga metro station is.
So it could be here. It could be there. I don't know. Where's the state? Where's the railway? I can't. You know what?
Oh, wait, hold on. Did I find it? Did I find it? Hold on. It's off of I-15. Where the big intersection is.
This whole area is... No, I know the whole... Okay, right, fine. Station. No, that's not going to help.
I found it. Oh, actually, we're not too far off.
So, where is that right-of-way? So, there's the right-of-way coming in here. I think. Yeah, so that's the right-of-way that they're building. And it comes through... there we are. Actually, you know what? This is a situation where our open railway map might be useful. So if I zoom in here... we're over in... We're still in Denver.
You're still Rocky Mountain High.
We're still in Rocky Mountain. We did not use this much, did we? Let's go. There's Florida, by the way, everyone. Look, there's Florida. We can have a look. Let's show you what's going on here. There's the blue thing, I guess, is that people mover we were talking about earlier. So there's Florida, just for your information, everyone. Also, we can show you what the Northeast Corridor looks like. If we go to max speeds, actually, I can show you the fast bit. There we are. Look, 125, 150. Ooh, wee. On the Northeast Corridor, whizzing its way through from... There we are. From Boston all the way down to... there's New York. There's Philly, really not far off at all. And down there's Philly. See, so close. And then down to Washington. There's the Northeast Corridor. Boop. There's Boston. Boston, New York, Philly, Boston. To Baltimore. And my Boston, I always go to Peter Griffin. I just can't help it. That's just where I go immediately. So let's whiz over to the other side of the country. Let's go down to Los Angeles. Let's find our way to... There's San Bernardino. If the map... There's
Rancho Cucamonga. There it is.
So there it is. Now, the question is, is it going to pick up, firstly, what that right-of-way was that it was doing? So is it going to pick up where that right-of-way was? No, it isn't. The thing is, if I zoom out, I'm pretty sure it does. Yeah, there we go. It is showing the new railway line. Actually, it's showing it not as incomplete. It's showing it as complete, which is quite interesting. Except that it then
gets 180 miles per hour. Wow.
Yes, it will be a proper high-speed line. It seems to get distracted on its way through the mountains here. So
I mean, and it is. I mean, isn't that like Cajon Pass or however you say it?
Yes,
it is a pretty steep.
They could just tunnel under the thing, of course. But anyway, yeah, okay, fine. 70 miles an hour. So it does weave through there. But you know what? That's okay, fine. And then it comes in. So if we get back to Google Maps, we're looking for... so that, whatever that was, isn't it. That isn't what we're looking for. The thing we're looking for is... God.
The Rancho Cucamonga metro station?
Yeah, is...
Which is... It's
here, presumably.
Like, there, yeah, go west. Yeah.
That's it there. Okay, so I need to find that. What else is it?
There you go. You're right on top of it.
So I'm on top of it on there, but I need to now find it in Google Earth. So that is there. So I need to find the freeway, which is here.
This is not RailNet, this is Rail Watch Us look at things on...
Correct.
Wouldn't it be sick to look at things on Google Maps?
We're an hour 46 into this episode of us just looking at things on Google Maps. Hey, I didn't expect this to be structured. It's Christmas Day. Both of us are slammed on various... Actually, we've not had time. I'm going to drink more sherry. I've drunk so much sherry. I'm remarkably compos mentis for someone who's drunk an entire bottle of sherry. It's quite something.
That's like the most British thing I've heard.
Yeah, Anyway, the point being that the train whizzes out here. It goes up into the hills. The railway is in amongst this lot here. Look, there's a train in amongst here somewhere, going at 70 miles an hour. Then if you go to the other side of the hills, you'll see the actual alignment popping out. That's a motorway. Screw those guys. But the railway...
Isn't this where Run 8 takes place? If you buy Run 8.
I don't know what that is. That's a reference that's lost on me.
It's a freight train simulator.
Oh god, oh yeah, and it's like the steep hill down to the coast on the other side, and you have to test all your brakes and not split the train and all this stuff. Okay, yeah, I can believe it. Right, so let's get Open Railway Map back up. I'm just doing what all Rail Natter people do anyway. Right, so the freeway is on one side. So what's interesting is that the railway has followed the freeway, basically. It's done the thing that I always say that you can do in the US, which is just build your railway on the freeway. First, a high-speed line where you don't need to build stations is not a bad idea, which means that if we go back to the freeway, the railway line is here. It's just here next to the... Well, I mean, that is a railway line.
Yeah.
That is that. So...
it's pretty well traveled, like well established. Is the Bright Line running on the? I mean,
it's not running yet.
Tracks?
It's not running yet. No.
Well, when it will.
But I mean that I'm.
It's going to be sharing its tracks with like lots of freight. If it's using that.
But 180 miles an hour that's you cannot run a mixed traffic rail. So it's not. Let me just get back to facing north and get my back to the. So I'm over here. So sorry, forgive me. This is where the railway should be. So it pops out. It should be popping out here.
Oh, it's supposed to be in the median of Interstate 15. It is going to be in the median,
and it doesn't. Which is where we are, and it doesn't appear that they've. They appear to put like traffic management in the middle of it, but they don't appear to have. The Google Maps doesn't seem to have shown it built yet. But it does seem to have shown them sort of cordoning it off, which means have they taken lanes for trains? Holy shit, if they have. That's a beautiful, beautiful thing to behold. Brightline, I don't know how they've managed it, because Interstate's a federal asset, so a private company organising a federal asset and nicking... I'm surprised. Also, this is the thing about interstates being a straight bloody line, is you can actually quite effectively build rail in them. So, if we continue... Sorry, let's go back to Open Rail Map. So, we're going through Victorville. Here is Victorville, which is what we just witnessed a little bit of. And then it keeps going through Victorville. This is how straight your freeways are, is that the train can just stay at 180 miles an hour the whole bloody way. Going through Barstow. That's funny. Continuing along... what is this, I-15?
Yeah, we're getting into Fallout New Vegas territory soon.
Oh, here we go, the good stuff. Oh yeah, we weave a little bit through the Soda Mountains, so that we get a bit weavy again, following the highway. Then
you get into like this is like all Death Valley, like not too far away. Like,
so
it's further north, but
so what's interesting is that they really have gone for like they've clearly negotiated some cheap arrangement where they just follow the highway for the land take, because they just drop it to 65 miles. They've Morpeth curved the railway here. Why haven't you? It's flat. Why don't they just not do that? They could just skip that and anyway. Do you know what? If it means they get the railway built quicker and then they can build these sorts of cutaways, then you know what? Fine. And here's LA. By the way, everyone, here's LA, and here is the Hyperloop test track. That's right. The Hyperloop test track is here. Just for anyone.
How's that going?
Yeah, I wouldn't ask too many questions about that. It's fine, probably. But underneath here, so there's it's amazing that that's there, and then the loop is there, and then some actual high-speed rail that's reasonably effective is being built with that much fanfare by Brightline. I'm not a huge...
Just slamming you high speed.
Yeah.
Drunkenly into Vegas.
Yeah, drunkenly, Vegas. Apart from this bit and the other bit like that. But yeah, so there we go through that town, and then we go up, and then through this Barstow, and then through here, and then here's the little kinky slow bit that's a bit slower. Have we any evidence of railway building going on? None at all. So this Google Map, they must have thrown that thing up quick, or it's not been built yet, and Open Railway Maps is lying to me. I know it's not operating yet, but they have, for it to be showing like that on Open Railway Map, it must actually have been built largely. So here's another slow bit, and then presumably that's fast, that's straight. There's the 65 mile an hour bit we're talking about. Here's that mineral processing facility that we were looking at earlier. There's a big hole. There's where you can film the final ending of your final sort of stunt from your film Duel. That can happen.
That's where like the death claws are in New Vegas. I'm
exactly.
Sure.
Yeah.
It is going to run through Primm, which is a town in New Vegas. I'm sure a lot of people are going to get excited about that.
Yeah. Here's your toll, because obviously, and then look at this. I mean, that's why you build a railway through here, because it's flat as a bloody pank. What's this?
It's desert. It's hot.
Whiskey Pete's. This is exactly the sort of thing I'd expect to be here. I don't know what it is, but it's exactly the thing I'd expect to be here.
Yeah, no, this is the town, and if you've played New Vegas, that has like the hotel that's full of bandits, and there's a roller coaster goes through it.
Weird. Also, like at the Buffalo Bills Resort Casino. Oh, yeah, don't ask too many questions about that.
Let's not. Yeah, no. the headdress there.
Yeah. Oh dear. Let's just talk about the fact that this is like, I think like Neve and Navajo people. In this part of the country here, the people who actually lived here first, and like this is their land, and then we just fucking shot them and stole it. I do mention that in the book. Anyway, here we go. So,
to the Navajos' credit, they did shoot back a hell of a lot.
Good,
you know?
And
they didn't go,
they
gentle.
Good,
and they have one of the largest, if not the largest, reservation. So,
yeah.
I mean,
good.
I'm not saying that justifies it. I'm just saying they
don't. Let's not just pretend that they're just like some primitives who we swept off the face of the earth. And it's like, no, fuck you guys, we're shooting back, and they did. And here we are, arriving into their Los Angeles that they have, and here's their massive airport, and here's the strip.
Las Vegas.
There's the strip. What did I say?
Los Angeles.
I'm an idiot. I mean Las Vegas. Because,
yeah, it's all right.
That's the ocean. I don't know where I've just ended up.
It's in Spanish. We speak English. Come on.
And here's the Pacific Ocean, apparently, because I don't know why I ended up here. But anyway, yeah, we were
bright line south.
Anyway, that was fine. So forget that. Okay, Los Angeles, fine, we got there. The thing you all want to know is the details, which is the potential train time could be 2 hours. The reason it's 3 hours 30 is because of the fact that you have this slow. Like, it adds an extra, like, hour and a half to get into the center of LA from Rancho Cucamonga. So, like, that, ideally, when you build your high-speed line, the whole point of railways is that you get them into the center of the city. That's the benefit of them. So they need to work on that. I don't know. They clearly don't have trackage rights on the whatever horrible freight railroads they could alternatively run on, and also they'd be competing with the commuter rail as well. So they need to work that out. But they could be much quicker. It could be 2 hours, which, again, it's not as much as the flight time. So what's our stupidity score? It's a bit lower again, 6.3, because the distances are that bit longer, but it still absolutely would merit a rail connection. Now, sausages, you might say. Gherkins, or possibly cornichons, you might say. Cheese, you might say. Beer within the cheese, you might say. Well, that's right, because we're talking Wisconsin, and what do Wisconsin do? Well, that's right, they put cheese and beer in / on / around everything. And good. You know what? All credit to them for that, because that's some good food combos. And I'm so hungry looking at this picture right now, because it's currently 23:45 UK time. This is
I have not eaten dinner yet, so this is definitely getting me.
And you'll be glad to know this is the last of our adventures, because the distance between Chicago and Milwaukee, it's 108 kilometers. That's right, I said Milwaukee. That's right. I think that's right, Milwaukee.
Milwaukee,
you kind of ignore the L. It's just Milwaukee. I have a friend from Wisconsin, so she shout out to my friend from Wisconsin. She go Packers. Anyway, right. So 108. Did I just make a correct sports reference, by the way?
No. You said Milwaukee.
I did, yeah. But
no.
Why would they like the Packers? So they're big Packers fans. Why would they like the Packers then if they're from?
Well, Green Bay is in Wisconsin.
So I think,
right?
So that's what I thought. So they're my friends from Wisconsin are Packers fans. So
yeah, it is. All right. Yeah, it's just that Milwaukee is close enough to be. Well, I'm looking at Green Bay. Green Bay is pretty close to Milwaukee. Well, so I guess if you hate the Bears.
Well, to be fair, I was going to say they're not Milwaukee. They are outer. They're not in Milwaukee. They're near Milwaukee. They are in Wisconsin proper. So presumably they're.
So they would say like "Go Pack, go."
Yes, I mean I know it's cringe for British people to be fans of like American football and stuff, but
is it?
Yeah, like this, it can be sometimes. I'm all for it. I don't mind. Also, I don't care for sports. I don't care about sports hugely, so I'm fine. I don't mind. Support your sports. That's fine. I'm a big fan of the Inverurie Locos, and no one knows what that is. So
No, I don't either. So.
No, it's the local football team from the town that I grew up in, and there was a locomotive works in that town. The North British Railway had a locomotive works there, and so the football team is called the Inverurie Locos. But like, to be fair, there's a hell of a lot of connection between football and railways in the UK, Manchester United being a key example. Anyway, I digress. Cheese, pretzel bread, sausages, cornichons. I want to eat this, but we need to talk about Chicago, Milwaukee by train. The flight time is 55 minutes. This is quite a short flight. Well, is it though? It's quite a long flight, given that some of the others we've had is an hour 15 and it's covering 4 times the distance. So this is where flights are stupid. So 55 minutes, because it's all that time goes into climbing up into the sky and then dropping straight back down again. Currently, the train takes an hour 29. Ish. It's an hour 29. That's not necessarily
the Hiawatha, right?
It's the Hiawatha, yeah. It's maybe not that bad, actually. And you could knock the train time down to 40 minutes. So, yes, you could reduce it by quite a lot. But even there, the Hiawatha, hour 29, not bad. Let us briefly, before we expose the score, let's go there. And I'm going to go there. I'm going to raw dog it. We're heading up.
Oh, let's do it.
Here we go.
Oh, you got it.
Straight in.
Right into Chicago.
Right into Chicago. Here's Chicago, the Windy City. Is downtown.
Right into Chicago, the Bears.
Yeah. What I know about Chicago is much like Edinburgh. Edinburgh
Chicago.
So you've been to well, a couple of things. I know quite a lot about Chicago. Firstly, it is the US's railroad city. Like all the railroads went here.
Oh yeah.
Like it's big time.
Meat packing and all that stuff.
Oh yeah. Here's one of the Chicago stations. There it is. It's a big station. There it is. Look at that. It's nice, isn't it? Woo. So the Hiawatha pulls in here. Presumably, in a different. Also, there's another station. There's presumably some freight stuff going on in here.
Chicago, real city with real trains and
Yeah, proper stuff. Also, nice park. Proper cities have parks. This should be ice by rights most of the time. No, not quite. But anyway, Chicago is a very windy city. So kind of much like Edinburgh. If you're in Edinburgh, you'll have noticed it was windy. Well, Chicago is also very, very windy. It also has lots of tall buildings. There's some tall buildings. There's very, very tall buildings here. This might be familiar to a few people, this one. Anyway, Chicago. Now, how do you get, by the way, how do you get from Chicago to Milwaukee up in Wisconsin? Well, you do this. Whee! And there you go. And maybe a bit further, actually. Wait a minute. How much further do I need to go? That was... Yeah, there's Milwaukee. That's it. There's Milwaukee. So you'll see that was not very far, and it's also pretty flat, by which I mean completely fucking flat as a pancake.
Oh, yeah, it's very flat.
It's a very nice building in Milwaukee. Look at this. That's very nice.
I will not hear Rust Belt slander. I defend the Rust Belt.
Look at these two. This could be bloody Newcastle upon Tyne. Look at these two. Grand. Some very nice architecture. Lovely. Marvellous. A bit too much car park action and highway going on, but that's the US. What can you do? So, you'll notice that geographically what I did there, which was straight, flat, straight, flat, straight, flat. Oh, it's Chicago. So, these two should be... Surely, this is quite a dense corridor, so ideally you'd have a hub and spoke, so connecting these two very quickly would be a good idea. Surely you'd expect the Hiawatha connects them pretty well, fine, but not that fast. I would say, given that you have a lot of very linear infrastructure you could follow, to be fair, we've just seen what Brightline West did. You could kind of do that here. Look at this linear infrastructure. Also, it's not just any old linear infrastructure, it's a bloody train anyway. I mean, I'm not going to look at the quality of the... Oh, God, look at the P-way. Why is it like that? Why is it timber sleepers? Why does it look so haggard? It's so straight. Even the existing railway right-of-way, you could hijack and turn into a high-speed line with minimal effort. Like, you just get rid of the grade crossings and away you go. Like, look at this curve. I would pay folding money to get a curve like that in the UK. Oof. Anyway... So what could you achieve? Well, we've already said what you could achieve. You could get 40 minutes out of that with minimal effort. Look at this food, by the way. I'm going to keep this up there. So what's the stupidity score? We are cranking in with the winner of or loser, depending on how you look at it, of our list. Chicago to Milwaukee is by far the most stupid of our flights that we've looked at here. So we've got a 7.7 stupidity score. This is insane. Chicago, Milwaukee, we've talked a bit about the two. No Rust Belt slander to be heard. Good food. Tom is extremely hungry, given I've denied him his food. Let's look at our list. So at the top of our list is Chicago, Milwaukee. Here it is. Just very, very stupid. But Denver, Colorado Springs coming in a close second with 7.6. So that's also very stupid. I'm interested to know whether these match your experience. So LA, San Diego is third on our list here. Quite stupid is 7.3. Then you've got let's say the Northeast Corridor plus, because Philly Harrisburg isn't Northeast Corridor, but it's kind of in amongst the thick of it.
It's para Northeast Corridor. Yeah. It is connecting a important town to the Northeast Corridor.
You could branch it onto the Northeast Corridor, but these are all very stupid. Actually, Philly-Harrisburg is more stupid than the Northeast Corridor entries, actually. So 7.2 versus 7.1 for Philly-Washington, Philly-New York. Then we get down to the kind of the bottom end of the table, the kind of the numbers 6 through 10 on our list so far. Actually, including 11, actually, because there's London, Edinburgh sneaking in above Charlotte to Asheville. So Charlotte, Asheville is at the bottom of the list, and we understood there are some geographical reasons for that. But if you look at these, Orlando, Fort Lauderdale, again, very stupid flight to exist. There's good rail already, and the rail could be better if you got rid of all the great crossings. LA, Las Vegas, there's going to be high-speed rail, like the only proper high-speed rail in the US is going to be there. Yes, that was a yawn. 6.3. And then our lovely Lansing, Detroit to Lansing here, 6.2. So, yeah, so pretty clear, like, there's a lot of... These are pretty close, let's be honest. Like, the kind of the top, what is this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, are all pretty close together. So all of these are very, very stupid. And then you've got the moderately stupids of LA, Las Vegas down. So, yeah, Tom, you've given us a delightful list. It's going to be difficult to beat these. I'm interested to see what people's suggestions are to actually beat these, to wipe these out. But that's a long list of very, very stupid flights. And we've got a 2 hour and 3 minute Christmas podcast for everyone, and I'm gonna have, I'm gonna just top my glass up a little bit. But don't worry.
Oh, there you go,
Tom. We're nearly done. This has been a delight. I've enjoyed this very much, actually.
Yeah, it's been fun.
I'm gonna briefly go big face and say, everyone. No, that's got rid of my face again because I'm an idiot. Everyone, Merry Christmas. I hope you've all had a nice 2024. I've not, well, at this point, because thanks to Happy Christmas. Anyway, everyone, to all the audio-only listeners, thank you for this. I'll have made sure this lines up into your ears, so you'll have this to listen to and enjoy while you try and fall asleep with your hangovers or your spinny heads on Christmas Eve, or Christmas Day evening, actually. The usual plugs. Patreon.com/GarethDennis to support this. GarethDennis.co.uk/merch for the merchandise. PayPal.me/GarethDennis for loose change and physical and mental abuse. And GarethDennis.co.uk/Discord for the chat. Hello, everyone in the chat, by the way. For those of you who join this live, go to your families. And for those of you who don't have families to go and join, hi. GarethDennis.co.uk/Discord for where this continues ad infinitum. The book. But hopefully you've all bought it for Christmas for your family. But if you haven't, then you can buy it in the Boxing Day sale, which there probably won't be. But you can buy it anyway and give it to your friends and relatives for New Year's holidays or Orthodox Christmas on the 6th of January. I'm also, at time of recording, still a co-host of WTYP, Well, There's Your Problem podcast, which will have had a couple of extra episodes being recorded before Christmas. So enjoy those, including a bonus episode on some fun stuff. Oh, it's Catholicism. Liam already told everyone it's Catholicism. We're doing Catholicism, folks.
Did you finally record it?
We have not. No, we have not. It's still work in progress. I've inputted into a few of the slides. It's funny because I've got to not relapse back to my new atheist early 20s sort of phase.
Oh, yeah.
To avoid doing that and just be like,
we can't have that.
No, I've got to kind of judge Catholicism on a different basis at this point. So I'm going to judge it in the way that I've rediscovered how much I prefer Catholicism to Protestantism. That's,
yeah.
So, yeah,
100% on board there.
Yeah, well, I don't have a dog in this fight, so it's fine. Except that when you look back through it, yeah, let's face it, the north of Ireland it would be a better place had the Protestants not got involved. So yeah, there we go. Now I really am secretary.
Protestants always up to something. Well, I butchered that Father Ted quote, but.
Anyway, right, so W2YP, and of course, it would be absolutely remiss of me to not mention 10,000 Losses. If you like, Tom is extremely entertaining man to sit and listen to, and if you enjoy that and know nothing about sports, then I'd recommend 10,000 Losses. If you, however, have the benefit of liking sports-based stuff, then 10,000 Losses will be a triple bonus for you, because Tom and Liam get stuck into the sports news, left-wing sports podcast based out of Philly, and some fun stuff going on. It's great.
I mean, there's riffing. We talk about some updates, but we try not to get too in the weeds, and unless there's something big that involves labor. So we talk a lot about player, the stuff that's concussions in the NFL, and labor stuff and how people get fucked over. That's we try to do that, but there's a lot of bullshit too. I mean,
yeah, if you want riffs, if you want sports knowledge, if you want people phoning in with their thoughts, because there's phone-ins. Phone-ins is a thing.
Oh yeah, you can call in.
You can call in. You can do phone-ins, leave voice messages and stuff. It's good fun. And I was on it once, and I actually had a ripping good time because it was good fun. What would you expect with these two Muppets doing a recording of sports-based stuff in Philly whilst having a drink? It's all good fun. 10,000 Losses. Go listen. It's good fun. And next week it's New Year's Day, and I'm doing another pre-record where I'm asking the question, is there any reason to be cheerful about the future, ?
Jesus Christ, Gareth.
And so
that's how you want to start off 2025.
That's how we're starting 2025. Should I end it all now? No, you shouldn't. No. And I'm going to give everyone, I'm going to say 2025 is going to be the year of optimism from me, because it's I will have a job, ? But also, I've just released a book, the book has already been released for ages. All of you know about it. The book is optimistic, but also I just want to be tackling 2025 with we've got a Labour government that's being completely useless, but they are also useless in a way that allows us to harass them into doing good things. So we can get them in a headlock, give them a little noogie by scratching their heads. That's not a slur. That's what you do when you scratch someone with your knuckles on their head when you get them in a headlock, if you're Scottish.
That's American.
Really?
Americans will know what that means too.
Oh, nice. Okay, maybe that's because we've inherited from American films, and actually it's not Scottish at all, and that's just what the Americans call it, and British people are basically weebs for America. So yeah, that's also true. So yeah, that's also that's it. So so there is reason to be cheerful about the future, and I'm going to walk around Colton Junction telling you why, probably because that's, I guess, where I'm going to do the pre-record, although I haven't yet. Episode 245. That's on the 1st of January. It'll be 2025, which 2025 is the proper bloody future. It's baffling that we're in it and haven't all been killed yet. So
just like we're in the 20s. What the fuck?
We're in the 20s. We're not even in the 20s. We're in the 2025, which is the second half of the 20s. We're in the second half of the 20s. That's mental. Oh my God. I'm going to go back to our two small faces. Tom is there, represented as beautifully by this eagle in front of a green image that I literally nicked for humorous effect because it's very pixelated, going, "Go Birds!" There.
Birds!
Yeah. Tom, thank you so much for joining us for this absolute 2 hours, 9 minutes of nonsense. It's been good fun.
Yeah.
I had no idea what it would turn out as, other than I knew it would be. Well, I knew that I'd find it entertaining. Whether you have or not is well, I don't know. We'll find out. But I enjoyed it, and hopefully people will enjoy what ended up being quite an interesting tour of the US, actually. We did quite a lot of US urban geography chat, which is fun. Anyway,
all you Brits can learn what you missed out on when you wouldn't give us representation.
Exactly.
You should have got an eagle screech.
Look, if we'd played our cards right, the US could be Britain, but we could have got rid of the monarchy. In a way, what kind of future could that have been if actually it was no longer the monarchy we'd got rid of, and actually we went your way? A different situation.
But imagine we
oh no, God, it'd be like
a little longer. We had healthcare.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's it. I'd like the NHS is quite good actually, and if we'd gone US way, we wouldn't have the NHS. So yeah, that's like the only good thing Britain's done.
Maybe if you just executed the Puritans instead of sending them over here.
Also an option. No, but then I wouldn't be able to go to Harrisburg and eat really delicious food and drink beer. So swings and roundabouts. It's difficult to say. Who's to say? Anyway, Tom, thank you so much for joining me for this complete nonsense. It's been a delight. Absolutely. Everyone who's watching, have a nice rest of your holidays. Genuinely look forward to seeing you live in a couple of weeks, where we can catch up with whatever the hell is going on in the world. By the time given our fast news moves, who knows what will be happening in the second week of January. I'm going to be waving vigorously. Everyone, cheerio!